All right, welcome to another edition of the Sports Edition. This is that you can see our faces edition. And as you know, I'm wearing my famous African jewelry. You can also see the patches of gray in my head. But yeah, so that's neither here or there. But yeah, welcome to the Sports Edition. I am Seyi Omanera. With me, estimated, established, whatever you want to call it, November 23 is Jacee.
Hello.
So
In my
Jacee,
in my in my mellow material. Yeah,
yeah,
part Knicks fan for
for
from
s-
2013. Part Knicks fan.
for s- For some reason, I thought that was a Rangers jersey. For some
How
reason,
dare
when
you?
I didn't even see the Mello
How
because
dare you?
half of your mic was kind of like blocking Mello's name. So
And
I
also
just thought it was like some giant Rangers jacket or something.
also major throwback. Also major throwback. We got the Kemba Walker,
Oh,
the shooter
okay.
of the Hornets
The
underneath
Bobcats. No, the
Bobcats.
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 Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So we got a little bit
Okay.
of throwback stuff on. We got a lot of little 2013, 2014 stuff on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time I've seen you since like what 6 months ago, was it?
Shit, dude,
Um.
that was no. It was the draft, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah,
was
no,
like
that's
what 3 months ago. I forgot
yeah.
how
It,
long
it
that
was a while.
was, but
Oh, dude, that was a while ago. Yeah, that was a while ago. That was at least 6 months. At least
and then before that, last time I seen you was before the pandemic.
years.
So I noticed you've been growing your afro out.
That's right.
So
Yeah, we got.
explain that.
You want me to explain why I decided to not cut my afro because of these fucking shitty ass barbers that are charging $85 per haircut? Yeah, no, I'm not.
Talk to him.
I'm not doing it.
Talk to
I'm
him.
sorry. Look, I would love to find a new barber. I haven't had a barber since 2006. It's my last barber. Shout out. He's somewhere in the Dominican Republic. But yeah, haircuts are super expensive. I don't know
Hey,
how people are affording haircuts out here without these stimmy checks. I don't get it.
hey, they be making you look like the Dominican barbers making you look like David Ortiz, but they be fire though. They be fire though.
They,
Like they'll make your hair look sharp.
yeah, if regardless if they can do up top, I can tell you this right now. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is matching a Dominican when it comes to a lineup. Absolutely nobody. They give you the greatest shape up of all
Hmm.
time, and they'll make you look like Brian White out here on the red carpet, like Dwayne the Wire Johnson, just looking hard, fresh to death.
They do. I had a Dominican barber in New York, and he used to charge me more because he said my hair is too hard. I'm like, how is that my fault? So why are you charging me more than the other customer because my hair is too hard? But at that time, charging me more was $20. Like his regular coat was 15. So
Yeah, I miss them days.
at first I was complaining, but now looking back at it, I wish I could have a $20 cut again.
Yeah, I mean, I miss it. I miss the days like my haircut back in the day was $10, like lineup included, and you paid $10 on top as a tip just to be nice. Now it's like $25 for a regular cut, no lineup, no nothing, and then on top of that, you're supposed to give him more money on top of that. It's like no, I'd rather just grow my hair out and look like a psychopath. I'd rather do that. I'm sorry.
No, I don't do tips anymore. Like if I'm paying you at least 25, I am not tipping you because I assume that gratuity fee is included. Like when you go to a restaurant and you have that gratuity fee in the receipt. I'm like, hey, the tip's already included, so why do I need to give you a tip? It's the same thing with a barber. Like, why I need to give you a tip if you're already including a tip within the payment?
Right?
Because this ain't a $25 cut.
Nope.
This ain't a $25 cut. I don't got no enhancements.
Nope.
I don't got like no like body butters on me or something. Like you're not shampooing my beard. Like this ain't a $25 cut. So look, I assume the tip's included, so I ain't paying you a tip.
Body butter is hilarious. Yeah, I mean it's out of control, and as an Americans, we need to do something about this. We need to stop worrying about war with China and start fixing these barbershop prices. That's what we need to do. If we're being honest,
This is the real epidemic right here,
it really
not the
is.
war with China. This is the real epidemic.
Yeah, if you
You
thought
got a lot
that
of brothers out here looking raggedy because these barbers want to charge a lot of money.
right, especially during the pandemic, bro, when they started upcharging because they're just like, bro, I'm taking the risk to come to your house. I'm taking the risk to get this virus, but it's like, you know what? I'll charge you like $40. It's out of control. It's out of control.
But I'm glad you actually mentioned that because part of me also, I'm kind of reluctant to get a haircut too. Because if you look at my hair, I'm kind of raggedy too. But it's just because like it's more that I don't trust barbers, more that barbers don't trust us. That's why they're upcharging. I seen I've seen so many stories about, like, I guess with NBA players, with barbers getting sick and cutting players' hair. That's why Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons going to attend to the All-Star game in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I seen barbers saying that they'll go on vacations, trips, see people, party. It's like, and then these are the same guys touching your head.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about that. So, I really only get a haircut if I'm seeing someone. If I'm not seeing someone, then, even if it's just like an interview, like at home, like a Zoom interview, I'm not getting a haircut. I'm just going to comb my hair.
I'm not shaving my head for nobody. Job interview, lady, nobody. No, I'm sorry. You're getting the scrub. This is the scrub version until these barbershop prices come down. I'm not touching my hair. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'd rather just pay the salon fee of however much it is to twist my hair. I'd rather just pay that, because at least I know I'm getting screwed from them, and that will last longer. At least I know. You know what I mean? That's an established practice of getting screwed for $100 to get dreads. That's fine. All right? Because I don't have to be here like once a month. I can come every other. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I definitely feel you. I definitely feel you.
Where's Ice Cube when you need him?
Yo, for real.
Ice Cube, make this barbershop happen, man. Make it happen, and make it affordable, for fuck's sake.
So, speaking of, I know you never went to the Killer Mike barbershop, by the way.
Sure haven't.
Yeah, the Killer Mike barbershop at State Farm Arena. I know they charging like what, $50 at least for a cut.
I heard Killer Mike and State Farm Arena don't care about the prices. I already know it's unreasonable.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's probably 100. Who gets a cut while watching a basketball game? We're in a basketball arena. It's like, oh yeah, I'm about to catch a Hawks game, but let me get a cut in the arena real quick. Like, who does that?
Diehards. A diehard fan. That's all I.
It's not even, no. I don't say it's a diehard fan. It's a hype beast.
Sure.
It's the same. It's the same dudes that be waiting in long lines trying to cop the new Jordans. Like, it's the hype beast. Like, who does that? Like, you ain't getting a special cut.
Clearly, somebody's trying to flex. Clearly.
Yo, if we look at you, we're not going to say like, ooh, this dude must got cut in State Farm Arena. This dude must got cut in the basketball arena. Like, no, you still got regular cut. His hairline is still probably pushed back.
Yeah, bro. I got a $300 haircut. I'm looking fresh. Yeah, no, it's bad. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I'm not feeling these prices, but you know what else I'm not feeling?
These refs.
I'm not feeling these refs at all. So I was watching I was listening to the Real Ones podcast. Shouts out to Logan Murdoch and Raja Bell. So they were interviewing Monica McNutt, and Monica McNutt was talking about that the referees should hold press conferences, because if the referees hold press conferences, they can be held accountable for their blown calls. Mm-hmm. But when I was listening to that, like, my logic was, why would a referee want to do that? Unless you want to pay the referees more. If I'm a referee, I'm like, hey, if I got to hold a press conference, I'm quitting. Because, like, why am I holding a press conference? I'm just here to call the game. Now I got to hold a press conference. And at the same time, what you said is that, why would we want to listen to a referee speak?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense, because it's like we don't like it. We don't like referees making calls. You think that fans want to hear, like, you explain why you made that bad call. And also, these refs don't want to explain why they made that bad call. You know what I mean? And like you said, we don't pay these refs enough. And even if we did, like, let's say these refs are getting like decent wages. And honestly, if it's in the contract, like, hey, you have to referee these games and then go to the press conferences, the refs aren't going to, the refs still have to, they have to work. So, I don't think it's going to matter whether they have press conferences or not, but nobody's going to fucking watch that except for First Take, so that they can get, sound bites for their new news segments and shit like that. But having news conferences,
First Take going to interview these referees. Stephen A. Smith going to yell at them.
Yeah, it's a bad idea all around, because imagine, like, the way that I think about it, imagine having press conferences with, like, these boxing judges. You know what I mean? When they have, like, a really bad decision, like,
oh no,
you know what I mean? Like,
they already get death threats as it is.
Yeah, like a triple G yellow situation where it's just like a really bad decision.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Or Like the Anderson Silva decision. I don't know if you ever heard about that.
Well,
Like really bad ones. Like imagine hearing that press conference. It's like I don't want to watch this. I just want to.
well, all right, all right. Like, all right, all right. Okay, I got paid off. I got paid off. Okay, okay, leave me alone. I got paid off.
Plus, that makes them a
Like,
huge.
what else are you gonna say?
Yeah. Plus, if like this might not happen in America, but like if you have press conferences with referees like in different countries, like you're just putting a massive target on their back. Like this is how
Oh,
people, like dude,
definitely.
people in South
I watch
America.
soccer. I know.
Yeah, do you remember that ref that got killed? What was that? Mexico? Was it at Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah, that there.
Well, it was a Spanish-speaking country. I know that.
Yeah, it was somewhere down south. I don't remember where it was, but like, dude, referees like die. Like, no, let's not do this. Fans are really unreasonable, really unreasonable. So putting them in the spotlight is just a horrible idea. But referees are
And,
out.
and even in America, at the high school level of football, like, wasn't there a kid who, was it that he threw his helmet at the referee? Something like that? No, he just assaulted him.
Yeah, no, he socked him. He socked him. I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Yeah, that kid ran up behind.
Yeah.
Him. I think he ran up behind him and literally sucker punched him, and the rev like got knocked out.
Yeah.
So,
And this wasn't a small high school player. I think it was a linebacker,
and
if I
that was a
remember.
player. That was a player. Like, imagine like Boston fans. Boston fans, no, they don't. Nah, y'all don't want that smoke. Philly fans, no. You saw, dude. There's people eating shit after they won the Super Bowl. You don't want those problems.
Not at all.
You don't want those
So
problems.
look, I mean, these referees do make bad calls, but at the same time, I feel like being a referee is a very thankless job. And just to have them do press conferences, that's just adding more abuse hurled at them. Someone has to call the games. If you're going to keep telling them like, oh, now you got to do this, you got to explain your calls, you got to do this, why would they want to do it anymore? It's already a thankless job. They already get shitted on. I was a referee for recreational soccer, and I got shit on for recreational soccer with people who don't even play soccer anymore.
Yeah.
Think about the professional level.
Yeah. And you want to know what's funny? It's not even a referee issue. It's an NBA issue. Because you think that the refs are doing this on their own accord without talking to Adam Silver or any of these other owners or anything like that. No, these referees are doing their job, what they're told by the NBA organization. So this is an Adam Silver situation that he needs to come into in the offseason and just be like, all right, look, games are lasting like 45 minutes for the last 2 minutes of a game. Like this is out of hand. Refs are giving technicals to all these different people. They're calling shitty fouls. Literally, people are going up for layup. I remember watching. I think it was Philly Boston. Like it was a week or two ago. Before I think it was before last week. And I was watching this game, and I just remember Brown is having a really good game, and Embiid has this baby Boston defender. It's this white guy. I don't remember who it was. Robert had like
Peyton Pritchard?
No, it wasn't Peyton Pritchard. It was I don't remember his name, but all I remember Robert had like 3 fouls. And Joel is just bullying this guy. And he's getting hacked like crazy. He's getting hacked, but they can't call fouls because it's Joel Embiid 280 versus this white guy who's like 240 pounds or something like that. He's just bullying him.
Daniel Dice?
Yeah.
He got traded though.
No, it wasn't Daniel. I'll find his name. But he's bullying this guy getting hacked. Meanwhile, on the other side, like these guys are just getting baby fouls when they're going up for layups, and I'm just like, so you're calling shitty fouls, but you're also not calling the real fouls that are actually happening on the court. This is a major fucking problem because you can't be biased towards these wings. And then big guys like Jokic and Embiid are bullying down low. Those guys are just going to get mad foul calls in today's modern NBA, right? They would just get crap loads of calls. So they might as well not call them because, people like Giannis and Embiid are just going to draw fouls 24/7. So what do you do? What's the solution? And like I said, the only solution, and I told you this before, the only solution for these refs and for the NBA and for fans is to let them hand check. It's the only way. It's the only way.
Yeah, and to be devil's advocate, like, look, I would personally prefer that. I would love watching that because I love defensive games. I love physical defensive games. Yeah. And I kind of miss the old NBA when I was a teenager or as a kid, just watching it. Even like in the early 2000s, the Iverson era. Like, the game is not like that anymore. Not even like that. I'm not even talking about the Jordan era. It's like just even back then. Like, but Iverson, Vince Carter, T-Mac is not like that. No. I do miss those old days, but at the same time, the NBA is in the business to make money. Mm-hmm. This is what's making money right now.
I get it.
Steph Curry shooting 50-foot 3-point shots and Damian Lillard shooting 60-foot 3-point shots is what's making money right now.
It's true. It's true. Also to play devil's advocate for you, I think that defense would make the games way more exciting. I feel like there's so much offense to the point where
for us, yeah.
No, I mean for little kids. Imagine like when you were watching this, like, and I can tell this from just like go to the gym now. Go to the gym. What do? People don't play defense anymore.
Shoot from half court.
And they shoot from half court, and then they run back on defense and pretend like they're playing, but they were just letting people get layups like it's nothing. That's because that's what they watch. You remember like 10 years ago? Go to the park 10 years ago. You were getting hand checked. You were getting bumped. You're falling to the ground if you're going up for a layup.
I mean,
like you're getting
you still kind of get that nowadays, but it's just from the people that can't play basketball that try to do that.
People who were playing flag football like 2 months ago, and they just need to find
exactly
a recreational outlet. But now I just like nowadays it's literally just threes, and defense is a major problem that defense doesn't exist anymore. Like I always say, like defense wins championships. I don't know if that's true anymore because offense
not in both sports.
Well,
not in football or in basketball. Actually, football could be sometimes. I mean, Buccaneers won.
Yeah,
but the Rams, at the same time,
imagine the Rams with like no defense. Like they would be atrocious.
That's true, but at the same time, the Buccaneers won because Mahomes had no offensive line. Mahomes had an offensive line, they would have won. Yeah. So even in that notion, defense doesn't win championships in the major sports anymore.
Yeah, and that sucks, doesn't it? Like it sucks that. I mean, last year you can make an argument that defense won, but it was like no, it was size. Size won the championship last year, and now.
You're talking about with the Lakers
Heat. It was size.
Okay.
It was size.
Yeah, Lakers Heat.
Yeah, it wasn't defense that one. It was size. And now everybody has a team. Every team has one person that can get you 25 a game. Every team has one, right? And it's starting to get to the point where it's like if you're in the
top, easier to find one.
Yeah, it's easy. It's way easier to find one now. Like this year, the reason why people are so infatuated with the top 5 is because 4 of those guys in the next 4 years are going to average 25 a game. Like it's simple. It's simple.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like, are we just going to go down this path where not only, because even if we have good defenders, which we do, we have some pretty solid defenders in the NBA. Ben Simmons is obviously phenomenal. And I feel like that's probably the only way where we're going to get good defense is if you have a 7-footer who could guard all 5 positions. That's like the only way we're going to get good defense. But it's like, dude, imagine if you added hand checking. That would change the game infinitely. Like we would see another revolution where it's just like, all right, hand checking's back. Now defense fucking matters. Now you can make people work for buckets. And that's the shit that I missed. I miss Kobe having to work his ass off to get a bad mid-range jumper. I miss them fucking days, if I'm being honest. I miss the days where Curry had to, even when he was running through screens, like he was getting bumped through every one of those screens. I miss those days. I miss those days of, hey, we're not just going to let these guys just dunk on us. Shove that guy to the ground. Yes, are we going to get a flagrant 2 and I might get ejected? Yes, but I miss those days. Shove these guys down. I miss the hand checking would also bring back rivalries too. You realize that, right? If you can hand check and do dirty shit,
oh yeah,
people are not going to like each other anymore. And
they'll start fighting again.
I want that. I want that. KD would have never went to the Warriors if hand checking.
Does Adam Silver want another Pistons Pacers rivalry? Would he want that? I don't know if he would want that. I don't think he wants another Malice at the Palace. So honestly, look, from a business standpoint, I understand it, but
the business.
I want the old NBA back too. But from a business standpoint, I understand it.
I mean, I get it, but dude, the business now is just about individuality and players. Like, have you noticed young kids don't care about teams anymore? Young kids don't care about teams. They care about LeBron.
That's what the business wants. They want superheroes. They want their Trae Youngs. They want their Steph Currys.
Is that a moneymaker?
You think if there's hand checking, would Trae Young be this good? I know he wouldn't be this good with hand checking.
Exactly.
But this is why I factored in into my top 10, 25 top 25 under 25 and younger. Because there's no hand checking, and this is why he's going to be an absolute monster. But like,
I just think it's so.
This is what the NBA wants. They want the superheroes. They want these kids that idolize these players. So what? Why? They
So they
could buy
buy
their
more. Yeah,
apparel.
I get it.
Buying their apparel brings more revenue, brings more sponsorships. So this is what they want.
I just think that if you bring back checking and all these, and I think you said you agree, and rivalries come back, I don't think that matters, because I think that if we get rivalries back and people started caring about teams, the revenue is going to be there, dude. Basketball is it. You can make the argument about how you feel about. In my opinion, basketball is the best sport in the world. In my opinion, I love fucking basketball. It's awesome. People are going to like basketball because it's basketball. It doesn't matter. People are going to be, in fact, dude, 2K is going to sell regardless. 2K is going to sell mad fucking copies of NBA 2K regardless, because basketball is an awesome sport. People are going to love basketball and people are going to buy it regardless of what happens. Just adding hand checking and adding rivalries and all that stuff, people are just going to care more about their own fan bases, right? Because it's like, hey, fuck that guy who tried to injure Trae Young on Thursday. Fuck that guy who tried to bully Jason Tatum, right? I care about this team. And I feel like that shit would come back because it's all about the culture. Like, my dad taught me a certain way to how to feel. And those kids who grew up are going to teach their kids how to feel about, however the league is now. So I feel like it doesn't matter. People are going to buy this shit anyway because it's fucking basketball.
Well, okay. Well, let's look at the NFL then. Like, well, we're primarily a basketball podcast. Look at the NFL because I say the NFL is.
It's one rule.
Say it again.
That's one rule that they need to change. It's one rule. Actually, two. There's two rules. Roughing the passer is number one. The roughing the passer, it just needs to be a little bit. There needs to be something. That rule is shit. I'm sorry. It makes no sense. It makes no sense that as soon as you release the ball, as soon as the ball is out of your hands, if you get hit, it's roughing the passer. That's dumb. There should be a little.
Because they don't want their quarterbacks getting hurt.
Shouldn't there be a
That's
window?
as simple as that.
But shouldn't there be a window as a defensive player? Think of this from, like, if I'm going at.
Oh yeah, no. As a defensive player, it makes no sense. Yeah, but
so you're just gonna eliminate one whole half of the game. One whole half of the game.
You remember after
kids.
Brady got hurt years back and towards ACL?
Yeah.
After that, that's when Goodell in the NFL is like, you know what? We got to do something. We got to up this roughing. We got to make this roughing the passer call a little bit more frequent.
Yeah.
We got to make sure we got to call this because we don't want our top guy getting hurt for the season.
It is out of control. It is out of control though. It's out of control. If you put your hand,
I mean, yeah,
dude,
I don't like it, but I see why they do it. As a Patriot fan, I didn't mind it.
Of course you did.
As
of course you did, Mr. Six Times.
I didn't mind it as a Patriot fan. Yeah. Well, like I see, it's the same thing. I see why they do it. Like what I was trying to make the analogy with the NFL is the NFL has been having an image problem.
Yeah.
I'm not saying lately for like the past 7 years.
I would say 10
because the sport. 10 years. Okay. So yeah, because the sport, I mean, at the end of the day, football in its nature is a violent sport because you're tackling, you're hitting. And it's like, no matter how much they try to soften the sport up, it's still going to be a violent sport.
Period.
And because of that, they're still having conversations with the sport being too violent, with CTE happening, especially with that player, like his name escapes me right now, but the player who murdered a doctor, his family, and his grandchildren. I don't know if you heard that news that happened during this past week. And
I don't want to hear that story. That's so
and then he killed himself.
Jesus.
And that player's father is saying that he hasn't been the same for a while. So there might be CTE involved with that player too, that former NFL player as well. So the NFL's been having an image problem with the sport being too violent. So maybe the NBA kind of moved away from that physicality from the rivalries because they didn't want that problem too. Of course, they're not going to have CTE issues in the NBA. They don't have concussions as frequently, but they don't want the image problem of them being violent, especially after Malice at the Palace. They completely changed their image immediately after that.
Yeah.
Dress code, everything.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, I get it. But at the same time, we're just moving away from the sport. Like, if you're just changing the whole sport, and is that better? Is that better to just be like, hey, like, for an example, basically what you're telling these young NFL and even like these Tony Allen types, these Roy Hibbert types, these guys who can't change their games, You know what I mean? They can't change who they are. You know, at the end of the day, you can work on your game as much as you want. But like for a guy like Ben Simmons isn't going to be shooting 40% from three because it's not who he is, right? He's not going to be shooting 80% from the free throw line. It's not who he is. You can't change your game. So we're telling all these kids, it's like, hey, if you're not good at these specific things, like who wants to be a cornerback anymore? Who wants to be a cornerback? Do you know anybody who wants to be a cornerback in today's NFL? In today's NFL, dude, you imagine how much better Jalen Ramsey would be if you could actually put your hands on the
I
receiver.
don't
If you
know.
could
I
jam
think
receivers, he'd be
corners.
unbelievable.
I think corners are at a premium because now the nickel corner is much more valuable today because of it being a passing league. So like I think there's actually more jobs for corners nowadays.
Nickels and cover
because you need good corners.
Yeah, nickels and cover three corners you want, but man to man corners, bro. Man to man corners. Like, look at Okuda.
Well, hey, if you're a good one, you're going to get paid.
Okuda was a good one, and he's like, Some people are saying CJ Henderson should have been picked instead of Jeffrey Okuda. Some people are saying that.
CJ Henderson's, he's been the best. He's been the best corner.
Yeah, but also to be fair, CJ is pretty unbelievable. But still, or a D lineman. Who wants to be a D tackle?
Oh no. D lineman is probably the second most valuable. Well, anybody on the D line is probably the second most valuable position after quarterback.
It's valuable because nobody wants to fucking play that position. Have you noticed that a lot of these positions have gotten worse? Offensive lines have just gone down. Like nobody wants to be a lineman anymore. Nobody. Have you noticed that the linemen
just because the game's being so pass happy, everybody wants to be a skill player?
I think so.
Nobody wants to be.
So. And I'm not saying that these jobs are just going to disappear. I'm just because obviously people are going to play these positions. I'm just saying, like, dude, line talent has gone down the shitter. Line talent has across the board, except for defensive lines, because everybody needs.
I agree with that.
But O lines gone down the whole. I'm trying to think. Fullbacks obviously don't matter. Halfbacks don't matter. Dude, running backs don't matter anymore. Unless you can catch out of that field. Unless you're Najee Harris, who's
if I had a football player as a child, I am not wanting him to be a running back.
It's that mentality too. Like how many parents are out there who are just like, dude, I'm not letting my kid play football. Are you out of your mind? Running back?
You're rarely gonna get a big contract. You're rarely gonna get a big contract after your rookie contract.
Especially now.
And two, like you're like after you're done playing football, you are gonna like
it's over.
Just your body, you're gonna be almost disabled at this point. You're gonna be limping. Like I see running backs like Marshall Faulk. Like I've heard that he walks with an eternal limp.
Right. And
so,
but at the same time, on the flip side of this whole conversation, that's the job. That's the job. You know what you're getting into if you're playing football. You know that you're going to get CTE, probably more than likely, especially if you're a lineman. Especially
not even by the NFL level, by like the high school, college level.
Yeah. You're just going to get CTE. That's the job. So I think that's kind of part of the reason why I'm just like, you're trying to make it more safe, but it's just like it's just not a safe sport. Why are you trying to make a safe sport safe? You know, I honestly
believe in 100 years, NFL will be severely dying in 100 years.
I don't think the NFL will exist in 100 years.
I could believe that too. Yeah.
If they continue to go down this path. Now, I'm not saying that football shouldn't exist. I'm not going to be that guy because I watch MMA. So how much of a hypocrite would I be if I said that? But at the same time, it's just like you're trying to make this sport safe, and it's not. It's just not. So
MMA at the same time though, they don't fight every week. They don't fight per week.
Oh, fighters don't. Yeah, well, that's true.
Fighters, yeah, that's what I meant. Fighters don't fight every week. Yeah, so they got rest time. Same with boxing as well.
Yeah.
NFL players,
those guys
they'll fight
kicked in the head, no helmet.
So, yeah, true that.
Like,
true that. But they still got time to recover.
True.
And they're not playing as many. They're not fighting as many matches as NFL players are playing as many games. At least a good average starting NFL player throughout their career.
That's true. But it's just like I really wonder if we go down this route of like what's like Najee Harris, prime example, right? Like I by the way, I've been a massive Najee Harris fan since he's been in high school. I think he's unreal. And, if this was, 20 years ago, he would have been easily the number 1, 2, or 3 pick in the draft, right?
Travis Etienne as well.
Yeah,
Travis Etienne.
And this is like, you have these guys who are really good. And now Najee is being talked about as a second-round draft pick.
Yeah, both of them are projected second
And
rounders.
Najee can catch out of the backfield too. Like he can catch, and he's still being talked about as a second rounder. And I'm like,
Yeah,
we go down this road of not paying running backs, because that's the thing now, is not paying running backs. Because why would you do it?
And on the flip side, if you are a quarterback that can run,
yeah,
and you have a big arm, it doesn't even matter how good you played in college anymore.
Right.
You could be a first round pick.
Exactly.
Trey Lance didn't even play at all. Only played one game. Trey Lance, I think, is going to be a talent, but he's already projected to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, so
Mac Jones is projected to be a top 15 pick, which I don't get.
3. He's projected as the third pick.
Yeah, San Francisco. I still not sure if I completely believe the rumors, but San Francisco might take him at number 3.
I think they will. I mean, look, dude, 77% completion. I don't care who you're throwing to. 77. 77's
He's throwing to All Americans. That's what he's throwing to.
Hey, dude, a lot of people have thrown to All Americans and haven't thrown for 77%. That's all I'm saying. I like Mac Jones. 77 is a ridiculous completion percentage. But dude, do you think running backs exist in 30 years?
They would have. I mean, there's going to be people that are still going to just do it because it's a job at the end of the day. Some high school coaches are going to tell you like, "Hey, you're going to need to play running back." So, but it's just going to be hard. It's going to be harder. I feel like the NFL needs to change the contract rules in order to help running backs more. Because look like a guy like Ezekiel Elliott. Okay. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott did get his big contract, but at the end of the day, like he's already kind of tailing off, and he's not getting another contract after this. At least from the Cowboys, he's not getting another contract. Saquon Barkley, you're not even sure if he's going to get a big contract because he's been hurt unless he comes back from that ACL tear.
We're going to get one more wave of big contracts for running backs. We're going to get one because there's still some people who think like Henry, you can't replace that production. Saquon is ridiculous. We're going to get one.
Well, Henry's a generational talent. You don't find Derrick Henry like through every draft. He's an outlier. Yeah. So he's an outlier. This guy, he has not slowed down. Leonard Fournette, though, is more of the norm.
True.
A guy who got drafted by Jacksonville, top pick. Didn't pan out the way Jacksonville wanted because Leonard Fournette's more of an old school running back who wasn't really known for catching out the backfield. He's better at that now, but LSU was just a straight running back.
He got injured too, right?
Yeah. That he's always been pretty injury prone too. Even at LSU, he's been pretty injury prone. So that just doesn't help his favors. Then went to Tampa Bay. He won a championship, but this guy he didn't get the big contract.
Great in the playoffs too.
Yeah, great in the playoffs, but he didn't get his big contract.
That's true. I think I still think the top running backs will get paid for a little bit. I think now, especially just because they have to be able to catch now. It's like if you can't catch, you're kind of useless in a very weird way, in a very sad way.
I know we kind of went off in a tangent with the NFL talk, but I do want to ask you this. I
wanted to bring it back to the NBA. I have one question because I was going to bring it back. What do we do with guys like Andre Roberson now? Like these defensive specialists who...
No, Andre Roberson, before the injuries, was valuable. He'll still be valuable in this NBA if he didn't have the injuries because he was elite at defense.
He was elite.
He's elite at defense.
Can't shoot free throws. He can't shoot threes. Yeah. That really matters today. Like people are getting less minutes because if they can't shoot.
But since he was elite at defense, he was still on the floor. Nowadays, he's not even elite at defense anymore because of the injuries. So since he's not elite at defense, even if he's just great at defense, if he's not elite at defense, he can't be on the floor.
But even
he can't be on the floor.
I feel like you still have to have something else, right? Because look at a guy like Lou Dort. Lou Dort was getting all those minutes, but Lou Dort can shoot. Lou Dort can do a lot of different things. Lou Dort can actually play make a little bit too. So it's like I feel like now we're getting into the point where the league where literally defense doesn't matter. And it's to the point where not only do you need to have one thing, you also need to have
say it does matter if you're elite at it. Like if we have the Andre Roberson from OKC during the Durant Westbrook days, and we had that Andre Roberson right now, he'll still have a job.
Who's an elite defender in the league? Besides Ben Simmons, who's elite? That's a problem.
I haven't really checked the stats, but what about Covington?
That's a problem. Covington's not elite. Covington is good. He's a good defender. He's not elite.
One year he was. For the Sixers, he was.
Elite. Like, there's no... Isn't that a problem? Isn't that a massive problem?
Lou Dort look like he has that potential, though. Lou Dort definitely looks like he has that potential. Draymond Green
Probably
is
right.
elite, not for like man-to-man perimeter defense,
No, he's
not for like
smart.
perimeter, but just like overall,
Yeah, no, he's
overall
smart. He's a smart
communication,
defender. Yeah, he's a smart defender.
organization. He's elite. But of course, Draymond Green does a lot of other things.
I'll actually give your boy Okoro, maybe one day he could be elite because
Oh yeah, Okoro. Oh yeah, Isaac Okoro definitely,
one
definitely.
day,
He
one
has the
day.
potential to be elite.
But still, but right now,
And even
right
him,
now,
he has playmaking skills a little bit.
Mhm.
He's very athletic. He's a dunker.
Yeah.
He's great on fast breaks. So he has other things to the table that he can add.
There it is, right there. He has other things, and you just need other things now. You just do. You just do. Because what you just had right there, where you were like looking up in the sky, like, dude. If I asked you that question 6 years ago, no hesitation, you would have rattled off names like crazy.
Beverly.
Yeah,
Oh.
you had mad people, and I think that's a problem. I miss the days. Like, have you noticed? Look at the all defensive teams.
Okay.
But look at the all.
I actually got a question.
Okay.
Would Tony Allen in his prime be in today's NBA?
I don't know.
A prime Tony Allen
I don't know.
be getting playing time?
I would love to say yes, and honestly, if I ran an organization and a team, I would have him on my team. For me. But if I'm being honest, I don't know how I don't know what his role would be in today's NBA, and I think that's bullshit because I think he should be getting minutes, but I don't know because he can't shoot. He can't shoot, and he's an okay.
Never could.
He's an okay playmaker. He's okay, but that man is just he's just a defender. That's just who he is. That's his DNA. You know what I mean? And I don't know if NBA teams value that anymore. I really don't, because I don't know anybody in the league right now who plays for an important team that is a defensive specialist. I don't know a single.
What about a Gary Payton Jr.? He's just like his dad. He's a very good defender. You think he's going to get playing time? He's going to find a role in the NBA?
No. By the way, love his game. I'm not going to lie. I actually really like Gary Payton Jr.'s game, but no. It's just not happening. Nothing.
You know what? Yeah, more we talking about this, I kind of agree with you. I still feel like an elite defender is going to get a role, but yeah, there's very few elite defenders like Bruce Bowen caliber perimeter defenders.
Like I said, you would have to be at least 6'9", long arms, and have Ben Simmons athleticism.
I don't even say at least 6'9". This guy have like at least a 6'9" wingspan. At least that. Yeah. You don't need to be 6'9".
I think you need to be 6'9" in order to be an elite.
If you're Rondo without the playmaking, I still feel like prime Rondo without the playmaking, I still feel like you'll find a role with that wingspan.
In today's league, like, I'm gonna be really honest with you. Like, name one person who's locked up Dame Lillard besides Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is the only guy.
Isn't it like the Sixers, like the only team he really struggles against? Was it the Sixers? There's one team that he like really struggles against.
It's the Sixers. That's it. Because that's the only team that can just be like, hey, Ben Simmons, you're 7 foot. Go guard that guy because you're a point guard. That's the only team that can do that. It's the only team. But Philadelphia is the only team that I know for a fact has one guy that can stop everybody on the other court. And by the way, completely disrespected Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard deserves to be in that bracket. I'm sorry.
Not in terms of elite, not right now.
But
because he's added so much on his offensive end that he doesn't focus on defense as much as he did in San Antonio days.
No, you're right, but I still don't want to disrespect him. What he did.
I mean, he's capable of being an elite defender.
He's capable of being the best defender in the league. He is easily top 3 perimeter defenders I've ever seen.
Same with Paul George.
I just don't want to disrespect him. But
same with Paul George.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I just think defense is 50% of the game. It has been. It always will be. And until that gets fixed, I think the NBA is going to have a problem for a really long time until that gets fixed, because it's 50% of the game. And if defense doesn't win championships, everything's off. Everything's off.
But okay, so let's take a look. We already mentioned that the Lakers. Taking a look at the previous champions. So you had the Lakers. You had the Raptors. The Raptors, I mean, had Kawhi, of course.
Raptors really good defensive team that year. Really good.
Unbelievable defensive team that year.
Really good defensive team.
And they also just had like 2 starting lineups in terms of the depth that they had at their team. So that helped. It also helped that the Warriors were very injured. Yeah. So if the Warriors were 100%, I even said back then that the Raptors are going to present a bad matchup for the Warriors, but if they have 100% healthy KD and Klay Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
it still could have been the Warriors. It still could have been the Warriors.
Would have
But
been the
at the
Warriors.
same time, those Warriors teams had great defenses because KD
Dude, they were top five
made them
every
a
year.
great
They were
defense.
top five every
Yeah,
year. Mm-hmm.
KD and Draymond made them a great defense. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been proven, like, at least even just like the past champions, you still need to have a good defense. You still need to have a good defense to win. Like, despite all that offense, because at the end of the day, when it comes to the playoffs, you're playing the same team in the 7-game series, all that offense is going to be scouted for.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you just need a defense to get them through. And this is why I say my pick for the Eastern Conference to make it out. The Eastern Conference is still the Sixers. Like, I know the Nets are OP in the offensive end.
Yeah.
But I got the Sixers because I feel like in a 7-game series, that's when the Sixers are going to shine.
I don't think
especially with Doc Rivers at coach.
I don't think it matters, dude. If Kyrie, Harden, and KD are healthy, those are 3 guys who can get you. There's 2 guys who can get you 30 a game, 1 guy who can guarantee you 25 a game. You're not stopping that. No, those guys, like,
all 3 can get 30 in my book.
Yeah,
all
dude,
3 of them can get 30.
Harden has never had a third superstar ever. He's always been the guy to carry him, and he's not in that situation anymore. So if you're having a Harden who's on the kind of a second option, KD who I think he came back yesterday, shot 5 for 5, or was it 2 days ago? He just came on the
a couple
court.
days ago.
Yeah, a couple days ago, comes in there, 100% from the field, whatever. You know what I mean? Can shoot over anybody. I don't think it matters because even if you have Ben Simmons, who I really think can D up anybody, even if he's guarding KD, there's nothing he can do. There's nothing.
It's not just Ben Simmons. You got Matisse Thybulle. We got Joel Embiid in the paint. They got who else they have? They have shooters. They have shooters coming out.
Seth.
They got Shake Milton. They got Tyrese Maxey. They got depth. They got players on the bench that can play defense. They got a coach who's been there before. This is why I feel like that the Sixers are going to make it through.
Biased too.
Because at the end of the day, it's still a 7-game series. So
yeah, I mean, look, they got a really good team. I think that their team is really good. They just don't have.
And Brooklyn Nets haven't been playing together. They still haven't been playing together 100%.
But be honest, do you really think that matters anymore? Like, dude, I have switched my tune so hard over the.
I feel like that has mattered because that's the reason why the Clippers didn't win last year, or they beat the Nuggets.
You said the Clippers. The Clippers had chemistry issues. They had massive chemistry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They haven't because they haven't played together.
Brooklyn ain't got no chemistry issues. I'm sorry. Have you seen anything chemistry wise? That
not to the extent of the Clippers, but I feel like you're going to see it more in the playoffs. I could be wrong. I but
wrong.
I just got the Sixers.
I think you're super wrong because I don't think they just don't have. Dude, KD and Harden is just better than Kawhi and PGA, right? It's just better. It is, right? It's just better. You'd agree? Nah, don't do that. No, it's better. Don't lie. Don't
Pre-Achilles KD is better than both of them. Yeah, Harden is better than both of them.
You saw him post Achilles. He's fine. He's really good.
Offensively, he is.
Who cares?
Defensively, he's not.
It doesn't matter. Dude, have you watched this season? Do you really think defense matters anymore? Like, that should be the name of this podcast.
Defense matters in the playoffs. Not in the regular season. In the playoffs, it will.
All right.
I still feel like it matters in the playoffs.
All right. Since this is our first video recording, I'm gonna say it.
When you're playing,
I will say it right here. I will say I'm wrong. I will say I'm wrong, and defense matters if Brooklyn doesn't win the championship. And they have to be
when
healthy.
You're playing the same team,
they have to be healthy.
In a 7-game series, it's going to matter. When you're playing the same team in a 7-game series, it's going to matter. This is why Portland cannot get through. Because at the end of the day, they can score 120 points. Damian Lillard can get you 40, 50, whatever.
Can't score with the best.
Defense is still going to matter in a 7-game series.
Yeah, they can't score with the best of them. You're talking about the two. You're literally talking about the 2 best scorers in the league are on the same team. Number 1 and number 2. The 2 best scorers in the league are on the same team. And then lower is probably like what Kyrie's like 8th, 7th best scorer in the league, somewhere around there.
In terms of capable scoring, he's top 5. In terms of like ability to get you 30 a game, he's top 5.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be ignorant. All right, cool. So yeah, like Kyrie can get you anything inside 15, right? He's probably like one of the most deadly inside 15 players in the league. If they're healthy, dude, I really don't think it matters. I really don't. Because you can't stop KD, you're damn sure not stopping Harden. And if Kyrie's on fire, what the fuck are you gonna do? Kyrie.
But who's defending Embiid? Who's defending
It
Embiid?
doesn't matter. Because guess what? Embiid,
Who's defending Ben Simmons? Because at the end of the day, they don't have anyone 6'10" that can move with Ben Simmons.
who's guarding Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons is capable of getting 20 a game if he wants to. He's just very unselfish.
No,
He's like the Rasheed Wallace of this generation, where watching him, this guy's capable of getting 20 a game.
Not what I'm saying. That's not why I'm shaking my head.
Okay.
I'm not saying Ben Simmons can't get you a bucket. If he ain't shooting, it don't matter. If he ain't shooting, it don't matter. Because guess what?
He's going to take advantage of his mismatches. He's going to take advantage of it.
By your logic, if this goes down to the wire, Ben Simmons is irrelevant. Is irrelevant. Because guess what? 2 minutes to go, guess who they're fouling? Ben Simmons. Go to the line, make free throws. And guess what? They can't. That is the number one thing that you have to do in the NBA now. Is if you can't make free throws, it don't matter. And that's what's going to matter in the playoffs is free throws. And it's going to kill him. It's going to kill him because he is the second best player on the team. It's going to kill him. It just is.
Well, we also failed to mention Tobias Harris, too. Tobias Harris is still a 20 a game scorer. 23 a game scorer.
I have not heard one person who's getting stopped on Brooklyn because it doesn't matter. You can have
Ben Simmons will take out one of them. He'll take out one of them.
Does that solve anything?
Joel Embiid will defend the paint. Thibault won't take a player completely out, but he will give players problems. He'll make it tough.
Yeah, he'll make it tough. But
they got players. I still like the matchups. I got Sixers winning. I won't be surprised the Nets winning, but just Sixers is my slight hot take.
Okay,
it's
not a hot take. I won't say that's a hot take. That's a very reasonable dude. Philly's really fucking good because the one piece that you have forgot to mention this whole time is Seth. Because if Seth comes back, that unlocks.
No, I was going to mention Seth. That's what I'm saying. I mentioned shooters. Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned shooters, but yeah, Seth Curry.
Yeah, but Seth has been pretty ridiculous this year. I think he's shooting is he 40, 50, 90? I want to say he's close to 40, 50.
I won't be surprised that he is. I think percentage-wise, he's shooting better than his brother, percentage-wise.
Okay,
so we can pull up the stats right now. 44.7 from the field.
It's pretty good. Still pretty good stuff. And he only shoots threes. So he's unbelievable. And defensively, I would say they're probably, I don't know. That's a really good question. Who's a better defensive team, the Sixers or Milwaukee? It's a really good question. I don't know. I would give it
Milwaukee probably if Drew Holiday is healthy.
True. I would still say
that's
Philly.
Usually
Philly has ridiculous sides with the Embiid, Harris, and Simmons can guard like a guard. So I would probably still say Philly, and I would still say it doesn't matter because even if Ben Simmons, like I said, who's the best defender in the league, and if he doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to be thoroughly upset. Let's say Ben Simmons locks up KD in this very mystical land that doesn't exist. Let's say he locks up KD. Harden's still dropping 50. And Kyrie is going to be like, oh, shit, I got to score 40. And then, the Bruce Browns, the Nick Claxtons, the Blake Griffins, and the LaMarcus Aldridges are just going to get you 10 points each. And then you lose. I just really don't think...
It really does sound that simple. It really does sound that simple.
It's getting to the point. Dude, I don't know what I believe in. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to switch religions because, dude, if defense doesn't matter, I don't know how that makes me feel as a Spurs fan anymore. I really don't. I'm so perplexed.
What looks like from the Spurs though that Popovich is evolving. He's always been evolving.
I wouldn't say that lately. I think we're on like a 5-game losing streak.
I mean, at the end of the day, still a young team, but I'm just saying, like, the personnel that they have.
Yeah.
They have young, offensive, athletic players.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I like the Spurs Foundation. Hopefully Becky Hammond does a good job because that seems like the direction that we're going in. Hopefully Becky.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. God, I hope she succeeds. I really do. That would help so many things. It'll bring so many people together if Becky Hammond could succeed in the NBA. But yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. That's my random rant for the day.
Yeah, we all know Dreadhead Tim is out the question. He said he was done with it. Dreadhead Timmy.
Dreadhead Tim.
Tim Duncan.
Yeah, we miss him. We miss Dreadhead Tim in the facilities.
Did you see the interview with the real ones with Tim Duncan, by the way?
Of course.
If not, you should catch it out.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. How dare you? You think I'm not a real Spurs fan? I catch every interview.
Okay.
But Random question: is it just a two-team race? Is it a two-team race? Because now, slam me if
Nets and
slam me.
Lakers.
No, I'm
Is that
talking
what
about
you
the
mean?
East. I'm talking about the East. I'm talking about the East.
Oh, yeah. I was about to mention,
Is
like, it's
Milwaukee
funny
not
how
serious? Are we not? Are we sure Milwaukee sucks?
that's what I was about to mention. Like we mentioned, is Milwaukee a better defensive team than the Sixers? And I was like, hey, I was about to say, hey, it's funny how we not even factored in Milwaukee in this Eastern Conference race. Like none of
Yeah,
us even thought about factoring Milwaukee.
because I mean they are, dude. They're 32-20, and Giannis is still like. You could make a legit argument Giannis should be the
Same player,
MVP. You should make it. You can make an argument that he's the MVP. To be honest with you, nobody will
but
vote for him.
he
But
got voter fatigue now, so
yeah,
I think it's done for him.
but dude, have you seen his stats? They're so stupid.
I haven't really been paying attention to his stats, but I mean,
I
I
mean,
have an idea what his stats look like.
yeah.
So yeah,
If you watch,
28-11, 6 assists. I mean, he got these stats before. That's why no one cares about him getting MVP because like we seen this before.
but I mean, he is better. He is better. I think he's better this year than he was last year. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think he is. He just looks a little bit more focused. I don't think his team is necessarily as good. Not even
They're
necessarily. His team
worse.
isn't
They're
necessarily.
definitely worse.
They're worse. But I mean, look, I, I like Drew Holiday edition.
They're
I
worse,
like the Drew Holiday.
but they match up better against the Heat, and I think that's that was the big problem. They're worse, but they match up better against the Heat.
Yeah.
I think that was their main goal, to match up better against teams that are going to completely take out Giannis in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they accomplished that because Drew Holiday, he can't play the way they played like against the Bucks in the playoffs with Drew Holiday on the floor. Drew Holiday's just gonna be dropping threes, leaving you can't leave him open like left Eric Bledsoe open. You can't do that.
No, you can't. But I'm not gonna lie. How do you feel about the team in general? Because I'm not gonna lie. The fact that I think also a random fact. I'm pretty sure Bobby Portis is shooting like a ridiculous percentage. He's shooting 46% from three. That's so funny. I just like this starting lineup. You know, the Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew, Brooke Lopez, and just kind of throw whoever you want, like whether it's DiVincenzo or
Sometimes PJ Tucker matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I like this team. I think that this team is. I think the starting lineup is significantly better than last year, and I think that matters in the playoffs because it's only going to be.
We got to mention though. We got to mention though. We're talking about the wrong Antetokounmpo brother here.
Oh, should we talk about Thanos?
Yeah, the Nazis. We should talk about the Nazis. Yeah, because he's been surprised. Look, I really thought he was just on the team because of Giannis and nothing more. But he's been playing well. And he might be the X factor.
Has he been playing well or
haven't you seen the games? He's been playing well.
Okay.
As a good backup piece. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, this guy's the second star to Giannis. No, I'm saying as a good backup piece.
I'm saying that
he plays hard. It's not like he's just on the team because his brother. He played. There was games where when Bucks were just struggling, and he was like the only one out there looking like he actually cared.
He probably cares. That's not what this is about. But if you're telling me he's not on this team because of Giannis, you are insane.
He is on this team because of Giannis, but now he's not playing like it.
He's in the league because
he is not playing like
I'll say this: I'll be shocked if he plays in the playoffs. I'll be shocked if he plays in the playoffs. Because as you know, it's an 8-man rotation. If he makes that 8-man rotation, I will gladly say I'm wrong. But dude,
I think he'll make the rotation. But he won't play like 20 minutes a game now. He'll play like 10 minutes or something.
He is shooting 47%.
Probably like hustle minutes.
He is shooting 47.
He will not play the end of the game. I didn't say he'll play the end of the game.
You are
now.
not touching the floor if you are shooting 47% from the free throw line. You are not on the court. Period. I'm sorry. Moses shooting.
If he only had Giannis's height.
If only, yeah.
And his speed and his strength. And pretty much everything else that makes Giannis good. What could the Nazis be? Oh my goodness.
LaMelo Ball?
He could be honest. He could be honest.
He could be honest. Actually, speaking of the LaMelo Ball, have you noticed that the Hornets are still good?
So yeah, I did notice that, and now it just got to go to the coaching. It just got to go to the coaching.
What's wrong with the coaching?
No, I'm saying like James Borrego is coach. Yeah, James Borrego should be recognized as a good coach. 100%.
100%. Yeah, because actually, speaking of which, I think when did they play? I want to say they played on Friday. They actually, ironically, played Milwaukee, and they won. Like, and I just remember watching the game, and I'm like, dude, why are they? Oh yeah, that's right. They were good before LaMelo, and LaMelo just makes them better.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I just realized, hey,
Terry Rozier was still balling. Devontae Graham was balling. Mm-hmm. Cody Zeller was give you buckets off the bench.
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Bridges was kind of giving Milwaukee some work. And I was just like, okay, Bridges can actually hoop a little bit. They still have PJ Washington and like you said,
did you see PJ Washington drop that 40-something point game?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and you want to know what's the craziest part about the whole thing is that not only is LaMelo out, but Gordon's out too. That's the one thing that a lot of people aren't really recognizing. I'm just like, dude, if they're doing this without Gordon Hayward and without LaMelo Ball, I can only imagine what the next 2 years are going to look like for the Hornets. They're going to be really good.
And do you remember the McDaniels brothers? So Jaden and Jalen McDaniels.
Dude, Jaden had 19 in that game. He was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them are playing well. I don't know if you remember them from high school, but I remember both the brothers.
McDaniels. I think didn't his younger brother get picked in the first round?
Yeah, late first round, but both of them were projected to be at least 2 top 15 picks. With Jalen, the younger one, I think Jaden is the younger one. So Jaden, the younger one, he was projected to be a top 5 pick, while Jalen was projected to be like a top 15, top 25 pick. Mm-hmm. And both of them kind of underachieved when they went to college. Yeah. But now both of them are playing well, because even Jaden in Minnesota, he's been at least shooting wise and consistent. He's an elite shot blocker, and he shows a lot of potential to get better.
Until A-Rod takes over the T-Wolves, I'm not giving anybody on the T-Wolves credit. I'm sorry, especially since we're on Minnesota, should we just talk about this Rookie of the Year bullshit? Should we just talk about that now? Because I'm sick of it.
Are we just not giving that much love to Milwaukee? We're not even going to give them time to talk, to say they have a case or not. I did want to talk about, before we switch on, I did want to talk about, did you see Drew Holiday's new contract?
He has a new contract. Didn't he just sign a
contract? Yes, so hold on. Well, he agreed to a contract extension. So the contract extension is 4 years, and it's worth at least $134 million.
It's not good for Milwaukee, if I'm being honest.
It's good for Drew Holiday. We could tell. We all know it's good for Drew Holiday.
First of all, let's say congratulations for getting the bag to Drew Holiday. That's a pretty ridiculous.
Congratulations. If he gets all his clauses, though, it's worth up to $160 million.
Yeah, he probably has to make first team All NBA or something to get that money. Yeah, that's not good for Milwaukee at all, right? It's not good. You need depth, and
for the player, I feel like he's worth it. But for him being so injury prone, I don't like it.
I'm saying from an organizational standpoint, in terms of team.
Oh yeah, oh no,
because you're paying Supermax to Giannis. Middleton's on a good contract too, isn't he? I think.
Yeah.
So he's on a good contract, and then you just extended Drew Holiday. So now 3 guys are getting max money, which means that you can't put your money anywhere else in the roster.
Unless you want to pay that luxury tax, which I assume Milwaukee has accepted paying that luxury tax.
I mean, they have to at this point. But to me, it's just you gotta pay other people. Dude, the biggest problem with this team is not the starting lineup; it is the depth. The depth of this team needs to be fixed, and the only way that you're gonna do that is if you have bags of money to pay players to come play in Milwaukee, because nobody wants to play in Milwaukee.
Maybe their philosophy is like what Brooklyn had been doing. So like LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin, they came to Brooklyn because they want to win a ring. Mm-hmm. They took minimum contracts. Maybe their philosophy is like, hey, we could probably be like Brooklyn. Well, while Milwaukee's definitely not Brooklyn, but Players probably want to play with Giannis, probably want to play with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton.
Mhm.
We could get minimum contracts. Maybe maybe that was the method to their madness, their logic to that.
Everybody should know buyout guys go to the top 3 teams in the NBA. They never go anywhere else. They always go to the top three teams, unless they're like still trying to make it in the league. Then they'll sign to another team. But it's like, where did Drummond go? Lakers. Where did LaMarcus go? Brooklyn. Where did Blake go? Brooklyn. They always go to the top teams. Unless you're trading for them, buyout guys don't go to teams that might make it. No, I want to guarantee this ring. That's how it works. So, yeah, buyout guy. If that's the way they're thinking, Milwaukee, you have not been watching the NBA like ever. You have not watched anything or paid attention. So, bad idea.
Fair enough. I kind of agree with that too, but I think Milwaukee's they just ever since they couldn't get Bogdanovich, they just been screwed ever since.
No, they were screwed when they didn't pay Brogdon or let him go. That's when they.
Oh yeah. They were definitely screwed with that.
Yeah, I don't know what
they were definitely screwed with that.
To this day, I don't know what they were thinking, but yeah. I since we're gonna give Milwaukee their time, I think they're kind of legit. I think that they're gonna give a lot of teams problems, unlike last year. I think unlike last year, I think that they're going to cause a lot of teams problems because it seems like Giannis isn't doing the same things that he's doing, where it's just like I'm just going to barrel down the lane and get a dunk every single time. It seems like he's kind of doing a little bit more things, and even defensively, he's still there too. So I'm going to say that I don't know if they go further than where they've gone the past 2 years, which is the second round. I don't know if they go further, but I'm not going to say that they're definitely not going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
It doesn't help that there's 2 teams in the Eastern Conference that just got so much better.
Yeah.
And they either stayed the same or got worse. Yeah. So it just doesn't help their cause. But we can switch it over to Minnesota. And yeah, we could talk about this Alex Rodriguez thing, because you just told me about this before a podcast. I didn't even know.
Yeah, so look, my BS Yahoo reporting might be off a little bit, but it seems like Alex Rodriguez and a man that goes by the name of Mark Lowe, I believe his name is, who's the ex-president of Walmart. It seems like they're getting into a deal with Minnesota to go ahead and buy the team. Looks like for $1.5 billion, which, being honest, seems a little low for a franchise. I don't know why that's.
It's Minnesota. This is Timberwolves.
I get it. They're the worst franchise in the league. But if this is true and Minnesota is getting bought, I think one of 3 things. I think one, finally, because somebody has needed to get this whole Saunders thing that has happened with Minnesota. That whole thing needs to get out of town. 2, congratulations to Minnesota fans, because at least you don't have to wallow through whatever more BS that you guys have gone through for the last 25 years, having 3 franchise power forward / centers and just wasted their talents. At least that's never going to happen to you again. Congratulations. And 3, it looks like Minnesota is no longer, and that's going to be Seattle. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's what that feels like to me.
You think so?
They're the worst franchise in the league.
You can't do that to the.
Who cares?
You can't do that. Minnesota got passionate fans. Fans.
Seattle.
You can't, because I don't want to see that. I don't want to see.
I do.
Kevin Garnett over his dead body is not going to let that happen. No.
Oh yeah, that franchise that basically fucked him over and screwed his entire career. Yeah. He still got love for
Minnesota. Still got love for Minnesota.
I'm sorry, KG. He still got love for Minnesota.
I can't let that happen. Dude. Look, I was mad the Sonics left, but I'm going to be probably even more mad that the Timberwolves left, because I loved the Timberwolves as a kid. So
they're never good. They're not a good franchise. They probably don't make a lot of money either.
They had 2 of my favorite players when I was a child, Kevin Garnett and Stephon Marbury.
How'd that work out?
I can't see that team.
How'd that work out?
I know that didn't work out well, but nah. Don't bring that into existence. Don't speak that into existence. Dude, they're gonna keep the team in Minnesota. Anthony Edwards gonna make them right.
Who has the worst record over the last 20 years in the NBA?
I'm pretty sure it's Minnesota, if not New York.
It is Minnesota.
New York had the mellow era, so it's Minnesota.
Yeah, so it's Minnesota. Who is statistically the worst? Is that true? Who's statistically the worst franchise in NBA history?
You mean last 20 years, worst record?
Period.
Who else would it be other than Minnesota?
And you still want to keep Minnesota? You still want to keep Minnesota? They don't make a lot of money. They're one of the lowest franchises in the league. Their tradition is not good. They don't have good tradition. I don't know why you would want to keep the franchise in Minnesota. It makes no sense. And I don't know, because of their jerseys, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe because my sister lives there and she actually goes to the game. So, like, I'll be mad for her.
Minnesota,
I'll be mad for her.
You still have the Vikings. It's fine. You'd rather go to a Vikings game anyway, right? Do you care?
Yeah. Who wants to watch Kirk Cousins?
Touche. Touche. Very good point. But still, it's like, who wants to go? Who wants to watch Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, and Karl Anthony Towns? Do you really want to watch?
Who wants to watch Anthony Edwards?
I don't want to watch Anthony Edwards.
I mean, we can talk about them losing all you want, but Anthony Edwards is a player to watch.
It's exciting.
You don't know who he's going to dunk on next. So,
true,
yes, I would want to watch Anthony Edwards. Definitely over Kirk Cousins.
Okay, you know what?
I can tell you that much.
How many Minnesota games have you watched this year? I'm calling you out. Full games. Not highlights that you saw of Anthony Edwards.
That's tricky.
You want to know why it's tricky?
That's tricky.
Maybe one. It's maybe one. Don't.
I watched a couple Minnesota games, but you said full games. Now that's hard now.
Full games. No, because if you want to keep Minnesota, you don't watch highlights. You watch the full game because you're a fan. And how many? Matter of fact, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat below.
I was a fan when I was a kid, not right now.
Yes, because
when they had
G was on the team.
When they had Tom Gugliotta, Kevin Garnett,
shout out to Tom,
Stephon Marbury.
That's a name, right?
That Wally Szczerbiak. That's when I was a fan.
Shout out to
I didn't say I was a fan now.
Szczerbiak.
I just like Anthony Edwards because he's from Georgia.
True. Szczerbiak would have been a 19.8 per game score in today's NBA. But yeah,
he was a 19.8 per game scorer in back then NBA. He'll probably be a 25 a game scorer in today's NBA.
I meant 30. That's my bad. I meant 30 for Wally Szczerbiak. But yeah, dude, they're not a good franchise. They're just not. And why would you want to keep a bad franchise around? It never works out. It never works out for anything. Not in F1, not in the NFL, not in. People still care about baseball, the MLB. It just doesn't work out. I say get rid of them. Look, I love you, Minnesota. Never been.
But I know aren't the Brewers trash too? Or am I wrong? Are the Brewers good? I think the Brewers are trash.
I'm Googling it right now. I have no idea.
Well, from what I remember, the Brewers are rebuilding, and they've been rebuilding for like the past 5 years. I could be wrong. Many baseball fans want to comment. Tell us we're wrong.
Yeah, well, according to the baseball statistics, it looks like I can't even find them. Where they're middle of the pack in the NL Central. So no, they're not very good.
Okay, yeah, they're trash.
Milwaukee. They're not even Minnesota. They're Milwaukee.
I said Minnesota Twins. Oh my goodness, Minnesota. That shows my baseball knowledge. Minnesota Twins. I mean, Minnesota Twins. I think they've had their years. They had their years.
I don't think they're a team anymore.
Minnesota Twins is definitely a team. No, okay, they're definitely a team.
Okay, they are. Okay.
I wouldn't have known about that.
Oh no, they're at the top of the AL Central. Look at that.
Yeah, so look, Minnesota Twins are good. You know.
Sure. Yeah. So,
you probably don't remember, but
we should probably stop talking about baseball.
I mean, it's only 8 games.
We should probably stop embarrassing ourselves. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So there you go. You have the Twins. You got
Minnesota Brewers,
Vikings. Yeah, the Brewers. Jesus, made me an accomplice in that crime. Yeah, I get rid of them. They're terrible.
I felt like Shaq on that one. I felt like Shaq.
So let's get to this whole Anthony Edwards thing since you brought him up. Rookie of the year or total BS, and let's give it to Halliburton because he's just as good and on a better team.
I say screw it, and I don't care about the rules. We're still giving it to LaMelo because he's clearly the best rookie. I don't care if he was out for the season. Clearly the best rookie. It's not like Joel Embiid getting hurt and you had guys that were close to Joel Embiid in the voting. Mm-hmm. It was clearly LaMelo's ball's title to lose.
It was LaMelo's ball.
It was LaMelo's ball. Yeah, it was LaMelo. That rookie of the year was LaMelo's ball. Okay. And it wasn't nobody's ball. It wasn't Tyrese Halliburton's ball. It wasn't Andy Edwards' ball. It ain't even Sadiq Bey's ball or Emmanuel Quickly.
So by that logic,
So
shouldn't Joel Embiid be the MVP?
no, because
He came back.
Joel,
He's back.
he came back, but there were people that were like Jokic was not that far away from Joel Embiid in the MVP running. LaMelo Ball had that on his own pedestal. Like LaMelo Ball was undisputed rookie of the year.
I'm pretty sure Joel Embiid was undisputed. I'm gonna push back on that.
No, he wasn't. Jokic was close.
Jokic was there, but it was
LeBron was getting the sympathy votes.
Yes, I agree.
No, Jokic in my book was close.
No, Embiid. It was Embiid and LeBron. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
You know for a fact it was Embiid.
LeBron was getting the sympathy votes.
Yes, and Embiid had the stats and the record. He had the stats and the record. Jokic just had the stats.
Jokic. He didn't have the record because it was everybody else on his team that was making him lose, not him. He was the reason why they were winning.
I agree. I'm with you. But at the same time, Embiid was the main reason why head and shoulders why Philly was the best team.
Well, like we said, like they're what 9-0 since the trade, since the Aaron Gordon trade. So, hey, now they got the record. So Jokic could win that one.
I'm just saying,
but rookie of the year, I feel dirty giving it to anybody else other than LaMelo Ball. Yes, I feel disgusting. I feel dirty giving it to anybody else other than LaMelo Ball. It's still LaMelo Ball for me.
Okay, look. I'm not gonna push back on you. I actually kind of agree. If I'm being honest, I kind of agree. He played 41 games. Are we going up to 82 this season? Are we doing 82? I think
it's like it's 70 something. Like the season ends on the 18th. The season ends very soon.
So he played well over half. In my opinion, it's rookie of the year. So to me, if Anthony Edwards gets it, I'll be really upset because that to me is just like peak. I don't care about anything but stats. Is Anthony Edwards getting the vote? But yeah, I agree with you. LaMelo should get it. He played half the games. He has the stats. He has the look too. Like his game looks the best out of every rookie that's out there, and he was the best. Period. Like you said, he's been head and shoulders the best rookie, and it wasn't close. It wasn't like the MVP where you can make an argument. As much as I love Halliburton, and I would love to give the award to him just so I could say that I was right. Look, LaMelo Ball was just the best, and
it's not like last year either, where Zion came in and he looked like the best rookie. But John Morant was also having a very good season as well. If it was that dynamic, then like let's say Anthony Edwards was coming close, then I could give it to Anthony Edwards. But it wasn't that.
Ja also had the fact that his team made the playoffs, which nobody thought the Grizzlies were going to make it. So that he had that on his side too.
That too, and so it's definitely not that. Like LaMelo was clearly the best rookie. So yeah, it's LaMelo. It's LaMelo. Like I'm not giving it to everybody else. Not at all.
Not a look at Pokusevski?
Pokusevski will get my 3 years away from being 3 years away award. That's what he'll get.
Speaking of Pokusevski, do you want to give your love to OKC Blue real quick? Because I know you're a massive fan.
Let's talk about OKC Blue. So we said this before the podcast. We are not going to call them the OKC Thunder at all. They are the OKC Blue because this is essentially the G League team that's playing in the NBA right now. What is there? Who's on the G League team roster? If I'm a player on the G League team roster, I'm like, man, damn, I must be trash. I'm not on this team. Not even playing a single minute because they're literally playing the whole G League roster on the NBA,
except for SGA. Just saying.
Except for SGA and Luguentz Stewart. Yeah, I'll say that, and Luguentz Stewart.
And you know what? We'll throw Dort in there. Dort was a G Leaguer last year. We'll throw him in there.
Yeah, but he's not G League caliber anymore.
No, he's not. He's developing. So I mean, this is a developmental team. We'll throw him on there because he's still getting better. He's got to develop his game.
But yeah, it
used to be the D League.
Yeah. It used to be a D League, but I am liking this OKC Blue team. You know, they got a lot of young talent. Like I'm saying, just the OKC scouting department has just been like ever since they were an expansion team, they've just been top of the league. Like this is the same team that got Westbrook, Harden, and Durant. Like even post that era, they just been finding gems. We were shitting on Post Gosheski like beginning of the season because how horrible he looked,
Still,
but
Shevsky.
he shows potential. We just need to see the potential. He shows the potential.
Yeah,
but the difference with
games.
But the difference with this OKC Blue team is that they're giving him the patience. They're giving him the playing time to keep showing that potential. Because he's confident. Is he not taking shots? He's definitely taking shots. I didn't say he was making them, but he's taking shots. So this is how a lot of foreign players usually bust in the NBA is because coaches will kill their confidence. Darko Milicic even said it when he went to the Detroit Pistons with Larry Brown. That killed his confidence because Larry Brown's a hard-nosed coach, and Larry Brown was going to give Darko Milicic playing time, so that killed his confidence.
Whoa, hang on, pause. Are you saying that? Wait, you're not saying. Hang on, you're not saying. Are you saying
it's his words, not mine?
Are you saying Darko?
His words, not mine.
Are you saying Darko could have been saved? Are you saying that if we played?
I'm not saying he could have been worth drafting over Melo, but I'm saying he could have been an NBA caliber player. Yeah,
he was an NBA caliber player.
But you're a starting NBA caliber player.
Chill.
He probably could have been that.
Chill.
If he didn't get drafted by the Pistons and Larry Brown, because Larry Brown.
Yeah,
Larry Brown is not going to have patience for a play like Darko Milicic. So I think if Darko Milicic was drafted in 2021 over LaMelo, like he got drafted over Carmelo, so he gets drafted over another Melo. But if he goes to OKC Blue instead, maybe he'll get the patience. He'll become a star. We'll never know. Especially today's NBA with stretch bigs. He'll probably become a star. Who knows?
He would have been 20 and 10 guy off the rip. If you could have got today,
I'm not off the rip, but probably. Who knows? Well, we just know the OKC Blue will give him the confidence because they'll play him through the thick and thin, like they're playing Alexei Pokusevski.
I can't get down with this conversation. I can't.
I'm just saying, it's a theory. It is a theory. It's a theory. So
that's funny.
But not just Pokusevski too. Theo Maledon as well. It's been looking good. Mm-hmm. Who else? Isaiah Roby, Luguentz Dort. We mentioned Darius Bazley. We actually didn't mention before the show. Like, yeah, I love Darius Bazley.
Don't forget your point.
Moses Brown, the pick your chin up guy. He was known as a meme guy before. Like, I knew him from UCLA. I just didn't know what he did in UCLA aside from the meme.
I don't. I genuinely do not remember him playing for like ever in college. To be honest with you, I don't ever remember.
It was just a meme where he had his head down, and then his teammate, what is he doing right now? But he did the bravest thing. He put his chin up. Like, he put his chin up. Moses Brown kept his chin up all throughout his UCLA career, went to the OKC Blue, and he still has his chin up because he's looking for the boards and he's getting rebounds. Why? Because he has his chin up.
It's so dumb. Yeah, I mean, look, this is I would love to.
And he got himself a contract too. We didn't mention that. He got himself the bag. He secured the bag.
That's true. Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, I would love to get down with you on this OKC Blue train. How much you love them. A couple of them look really good. Obviously, SGA looks phenomenal. But I'm not
future superstar right there. Future superstar.
And I'm gonna put my 2 cents in the bag right now. That guy is definitely gonna get traded in the next 2 years. 100%.
Yeah. You said something like that outlandish before the podcast. I was like, save that for the show.
I sure did.
But why you think that? Why would they trade a 22-year-old who has superstar potential? The only guy in that team that has superstar, probably even star potential on that team. Why would they trade him?
Here's the thing. You're saying it like you run the team. And this is a league that is ran by superstars. And if SGA says, hey, I'm sick and tired of finishing in the bottom 5, which, by the way, they're going to finish in the bottom 5 next year too. Unless they somehow get somebody incredible. Unless they get somebody nice, SGA is gone. There's no way he stays. There's no way he's just going to be Dude, he's so good. Have you seen SGA play? He's ridiculous. He's ridiculous, and I feel like
He's beyond his years.
he is being wasted in OKC, being wasted. And I think that's
dude's only 22.
Yeah,
dude's only. This is his second year with the team. He's only 22. You acting like this guy's like 28 and he's wasting away his prime. He's only 22. He's still not even in his prime yet.
It's because they are. They shouldn't have traded CP3. That's all I'm saying. Shouldn't have traded him. Shouldn't have traded him. Should have kept him.
So look, let's see. If SGA wants to trade, he goes to the front office, talks to Sam Presti. He's like, "Hey, Sam, I want to trade. I need to win." Mm-hmm. Sam Presti all of a sudden is just going to pull something out his desk. It's like this whole long, never-ending paper.
Oh, the bag
that just scrolls all the way to the scrolls all the way to the floor.
Yeah,
and it shows all the draft picks that OKC has in the next, not even next 10 years, next 5 years. And it was like, and then SGA looks at that, it's like, okay, you're right. I don't need to get traded because they might get Bronny.
Yeah, because then
they might get every top eighth grader known to man.
First of all, and then he looks at the picks. He puts his glasses on, right? And then he starts reading, and then he's like, "Oh wait, all these picks are going to be 30, 29, 31, 20, 28. All these are low draft. Who cares? They got a bunch of mid-20, maybe 30 first-round draft picks. They got a whole bunch of draft picks that are at the bottom of the round.
Dude, they got some lotteries. They got some lotteries there too.
Who? I heard this like a week ago. Those draft picks are useless. Those are useless. He needs what they need to do. The smartest thing that they should do is OKC needs to package like 5 or 6 of those first rounders and just give them to somebody so they can get somebody in return. That's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. Or draft Jalen Green with their pick this year.
I would read all their protections, but that's going to last for like 50 minutes. Years? So
hence why SGA is just going to be like, wait, I have to. What's this clause? Wait, you're swapping picks and also getting a pick in between. These are the dumbest trades I've ever seen. They're just accumulating picks and just thinking that first rounders are like NFL first rounders when they're not.
They got the Clippers pick from 2022. That's going to be late first round pick. It looks like, well, Kawhi signed an extension, so he will sign an extension, so he's definitely saying
25th pick in the draft. Okay.
Okay, so they have Houston. Well, for 2021, they got Houston's first round pick that's protected for selections 1 through 4. So if Houston just bombs the lottery and gets number 5, that's OKC. That's OKC all day. And then we say this is a 5-person draft. This is in terms of like franchise players, there's 5 players. So hey, they get number 5.
Say that again. What was
the pick? So they got Houston's 2021 first round pick protected for selections 1 through 4, and Houston will receive the least favorable of the 3 via Miami to Phoenix to Philadelphia to LA to Oklahoma City. That's a lot of teams. But so that's good. If Houston bombs the lottery and gets number 5, OKC gets the 5th pick.
And they have their own pick, right?
Yeah, which also is going to be a top 5 pick most likely. So they could get 2 franchise guys if they're just extremely lucky.
Dude, there's no way. I'm sorry, dude. The NBA is 100% going to tamper for Houston to get somebody. 100%. Right?
Oh, here you go with the old lottery is rigged story.
Man. It is rigged. There's no. You're telling me who does Houston have? Christian Wood. That's it, right? John Wall. That's it.
John Wall.
Yeah. So you don't think that
Kevin Porter Jr.
You don't think that
I like to put his name in the hat.
I'm not. So you think that the NBA is just going to look at this as like, look, Houston is pretty bad. Shouldn't we just throw them a top 4 pick?
No, I'm gonna say the NBA is gonna look at this as like, Houston is pretty bad, but hey, we have no control over it because it's random. Let's hey, where's Houston? If Houston gets number 5, tough luck.
Okay, Houston is 14th, so they're 14th in the West.
You don't think they say like, oh, New York Knicks is pretty bad. We should give them a franchise player like Zion. Look, sorry, you had to get RJ Barrett instead.
So more than likely,
they had to could give you John Morant. Oh, sorry, you gotta get RJ Barrett instead. Oh, sorry, you gotta get Obi Toppin instead.
I'll just say this: there is a 0% chance that they don't get a top 5 pick. And if they don't get a top 5 pick, then I'll say that the NBA is not rigged. I'll say it's not rigged if they don't get.
They don't need a top 5, top 4. If it falls out the top 4, then it's OKC's pick.
They're the second worst team in the West. They have to get that top 4 pick. They have to. Right?
With the way the lottery percentages are shaped up, it's not always a guarantee. So you never know. It's not always a guarantee.
Dude, they're the second worst team in the league.
Wait, was the Hawks like the second worst team in the league? But they fell to like what, number 6 when they got DeAndre Hunter, or number 5?
No, they got him
so
at 4, right? Hunter was at 4?
Well, either or. They looked like they could have got. But saying, even the Knicks were what, the worst team and fell number 7 or number 6? But I remember, they were the worst or third worst team. They fell like number 6 and number 7. They were in that draft.
They were like second or third. They were second or third worst team in the league, and they fell to.
It wasn't that draft. It was a draft. It was a Trae Young draft. It was a Trae Young draft where they were still.
No, it was the Zion draft. You're talking about the Zion draft, and they fell to 3.
Yeah, Zion.
Yeah, they were the worst team in the league, and they fell to 3. Yeah, that was because that was the only Knicks controversy ever with the draft, because they were just like, we're the worst team in the league, we deserve Zion, and then they got 3. That was the big story.
Hey, it could happen. That's all I gotta say. It could happen. Hey, Bulls got Derrick Rose when they were the 9th. When they were the 9th lowest.
Houston gets the second
lowest
pick.
Percentage.
All I'm saying, when Houston gets the first, second, or third pick, just remember Jacee said that the NBA is 100% tampering with these picks. 100%.
We're speaking of Zion. Pelicans got Zion. They were like what, the 8th, like 11th worst? I forgot what they were. They had the like 11th lowest percentage.
I'm glad you brought this up. That is my favorite tampering story of all time. So how in God's name? Coincidence that Anthony Davis is rumored to get traded the whole year, and then they get Zion Williamson. That is a coincidence. That is tampering. That is
coincidence. Just like how the Pelicans got Anthony Davis after losing Chris Paul. Coincidence.
Oh, that was coincidence. They just lose.
Chris Paul. It was just a completely random coincidence. Like they just happened to get 2 franchise players after losing a franchise player the previous year. It's all a coincidence.
It's the same thing. It's the same reason why Golden State didn't get the number 1 overall pick. It's because if they got the number 1 overall pick, this would be a huge story. Let's put them down to number 2. It's a giant tampering job. I'm sorry.
Nah.
It's a giant tampering job. Why do you think?
I mean, granted, having the number 1 overall pick in that previous draft wasn't really like an honor. It was like, great, we got the number 1 pick. It was like, oh no, we got the number 1 pick. Because no one ever thought like, oh, we're going to draft LaMelo because he's going to be a franchise player. You definitely didn't think that. So
I sure did. All I'm saying is that there's a reason why Minnesota got 3 number 1 overall picks, and nobody else has gotten 3 number 1 overall picks. And there's a reason why Cleveland, after LeBron leaves, all of a sudden got all those number 1 overall picks. There's a reason. It's a giant tamp job, man. If a superstar leaves,
whatever you say,
dude, come on, man. The evidence just points to it. Look at the storylines.
What else you're going to say? The Earth is flat. There's UFOs.
Look, if Kyrie said it, it must have some weight.
Whatever you say.
Oh wow. Okay.
But fine. If that doesn't work out as well, they also got Houston's 2024 first round pick to Oklahoma City protected for selections 1 through 4. And you really think by 2024, no matter if they get a franchise player or not in 2021, they're going to be good? I still don't think they're going to be good. That's going to be a lottery at least.
SGA will
probably top 4.
He'll be gone by then.
No, because what Sam Presti going to do is going to show him that list. Is like, oh, so what you're saying is we're going to get Bronny. What you're saying is we're going to get Imani Bates. Like, okay, bet. Let's do it.
If they get Imani, that'll ruin Pokuševski's potential.
All Sam Presti's going to show is like highlight clips of the top 8th grader, and it was like, hey, SGA, just wait long enough. When you're 27 years old, that 8th grade right there that's averaging 40 a game, he's going to come to us. Yeah, just stay there.
Did they say the same thing?
That 6th grader right now who's getting 50 a game in AAU basketball. That 6th grader right now. They're saying like all he has to do, SGA, is get that growth spurt. Once he gets that growth spurt, he's a top pick. And guess what? He's falling to West because we got all the picks.
So you're basically
that's all he got to tell him.
So if you're Sam Presti, basically you're going up to SGA.
That 3rd grader right now that's balling in Pee Wee basketball.
So
OKC's going to get him.
so if you're SGA or Sam Presti, you're basically saying, hey SGA, I want you to be Kevin Garnett for the next 5 years. Is basically what you're saying. I want you to know that we're gonna suck for years to come, just so we might be good. That's what you're telling him.
We allow you to dress. We allow you to wear all the Fashion Nova fits that you always wear on Instagram. Just stay here. We allow you to wear all that, and then
you could wear a Fashion Nova fit for the Clippers, my guy. You could wear it for anybody.
Sam Presti's like, hey, Westbrook started his Fashion Nova fits here. You could be the next Westbrook here. Just stay here.
Look,
and we'll get all the top picks from elementary and middle school.
Look,
and they'll come to this team.
Look, this is all I'm saying. Give San Antonio a call. We'll give you whatever you want. That's all I'm saying. We'll give you whatever you want. Anything you want. Now, how many players? Gotcha. Picks? Gotcha. We'll give you whatever you want. That's all I'm saying. There's no way SGA stays. I just don't think superstars will stay anymore. I don't think that everybody has this Bradley Beal thing. But Bradley Beal's thing is what he's doing is smart, because whether he decides to stay or go, regardless, he's getting paid. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter.
And at the end of the day, he said he's staying for his family. He doesn't want to move his family. So that's what he said.
Okay, fair enough. I can't say if that's what he's saying. I mean, if it's about his family, I get it. There's nothing more I can say. But
I mean, got two kids, got two young kids, got a wife. I feel him.
Yeah, I feel you. But we'll get back to this conversation in 2 years. See how you're feeling about want to move your family. If you're losing for 2 straight seasons, we'll see. You don't think I think superstars are starting to get fed up. I think they're just going to start. I think we're going to start seeing carousels.
Starting? It's already.
I think it's going to be way worse than what we've seen. I think that players are going to start jumping ship all the time, to the point where the league is going to have to start doing something about it. I think it's going to be that bad.
But can they do something about it?
Yeah.
Or they're going to face huge backlash if they do.
They already do. Who cares? The NBA is the most, what do you call it? It's the most
player friendly.
Thank you. I don't know why I struggled with that. But they're easily the most player friendly. If they just say, hey, this new CBA, which by the way, NBA players have by far the second best CBA in period. MLB being number one, because I don't know if you've seen some of these recent MLB contracts. So dumb. But
I don't know about that, because at the end of the day, you still, with MLB, you still got the minor league contract system. You still got, when you just got promoted, you got your arbitration contracts.
Yeah.
So you got to wait till your 7th or 8th year, if you make it that far, to get that big contract.
But those contracts are really good.
Yeah, but at the same time, you gotta wait how long to get those contracts?
It's true.
And you're getting paid what, penny? Well, of course not pennies, but $2 million, $3 million compared to what NBA players and other leagues get paid.
But if you do make it, you get paid for the rest of your life.
If you do make it, there's only a small percentage of players that do make it.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Look at.
All right, I'll give it to you.
We can stay in Atlanta.
I'll give it to you.
Look at Ronald Acuna and Ozzy Albies. They were pressured into taking low ball contracts because they didn't want to wait that long to get their big contracts, because they're just going to get paid $500,000 a year per year while two of them are top at their position in baseball.
Look, fair enough. All right, they have the number one CBA. Regardless, you're making my point.
I can't believe I actually made a good baseball take. My goodness.
You sure did. But granted, I'm also taking your word. I have no idea if what you said was true. But
it is true.
I have no idea.
I played out of the park baseball, the football, baseball management game. So I already know this is all true. How the contracts work.
I didn't know we have an MLB manager in the chat. I didn't know that. All right, there it is. But still, so they have the best contract system for players in the world, right? You think that...
Yeah, NBA does.
You don't think that there's going to be a little clause in the new CBA that's just hey, look, we're giving you all of this money. We're letting you do whatever you want. Literally play. Dude, Kawhi's demands just to play for the Clippers is so stupid. It's so dumb. No other franchise / league would allow this to happen.
You must have this superstar come with me in order for me to play here.
Dude, he's allowed
Let's
to
trade
fly.
SGA.
He's allowed to fly from San Diego to the Clippers practice facility every day. He's just allowed to do that just because he can. And it's just all right.
Must have private jet to fly to practice facility.
So you don't think that there's going to be a clause in there that says, hey, once you sign this contract, it's up to the team whether they want to trade you or not. You can't just be out here making demands and then we have to trade you. Like
But
that
guess
hard.
what?
Like there,
The player makes an demand. All it takes is for the team to accept the demand. It's Clippers that accepted it.
But
So
here's the
hey,
thing.
it's
But here's the thing with what the NBA has yet to do yet. What they have yet to do, and that's fine people. They didn't fine Harden. They didn't fine Harden at all. When they should have been like, hey, Harden, all right, you don't want to show up to practice.
definitely what he did was definitely findable.
Yes, exactly. And you don't think that that's going to be a new thing in the new CBA whenever I think the new CBA is in like 3 years or something like that. So
It's up to the team to find them, though. The team find Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
New Orleans
exactly.
Pelicans find Anthony Davis.
I think it's going to be I think that it's going to be a big deal because look, team franchise. Look, if you trade your franchise player, that hurts your franchise. That hurts your team. So losing Harden is a massive deal. You think that teams are just going to allow that to happen in the future? I don't think so. I think that these Scrooge McDuck guys want to keep their money, and the way that they do that is by keeping players for the franchise. But until then, it's going to be the wild, wild west in a couple years. It's going to be a wild, wild west because you don't think that all these guys are just going to be like. You think that like Karl Anthony Towns, the guys like those guys who play for these really shitty teams are just going to stay there? No, they're going to start asking for trades just because they see everybody else do it. That's how it works. Once you give one person a piece of gum in the classroom, everybody wants a piece of gum. That's how it happens. And it's going to be a floodgate in a few years. And if you don't think that, I don't know what you've been watching. I don't know what y'all been
watching. It could be.
100%.
And we gotta paraphrase. We gotta rephrase it. NBA has the best contract in American sports because soccer got the best contracts in general for athletes.
But like you said, for the top, not for the bottom guys. Not for the bottom guys, they don't. Dude, I know for a fact.
At least for top league players.
Exactly. Because I know
not just top guys, players that play in the top leagues.
All I'm saying is I know for a fact that my manager makes more than the top paid player in the championship right now. I know that for a fact. So, just throwing it out there.
I won't say the championship because the championship they get paid like top league players outside the Premier League. I'll say like the French second league probably.
No, I mean
French second league,
not the Prem. The here. That's what.
I'm saying the championship they get played like top league players of other leagues of outside the Premier League.
Okay,
Let me see. Am I talking about my ass? Probably gets paid more than a person that plays more than the second division of the French league. Probably that.
Probably. I think I'm talking out my ass here, but I know for
championship league get paid like top league players.
Okay, well let me say
championship league gets a lot of TV revenue.
My manager is getting paid more than a lot of soccer players. Let me just say that for a fact I know is true. That's probably a better way of putting it. I would say in America. I would say period. I would say in the world they have the best system. Because think about it, the minimum contract now is I think it's 1.2, right? 1.2 million is the minimum.
Yeah.
Dude, I know like
mid-range median, the mid-level contract is like what, 8 million, 9 million?
Something like that. I think veteran minimum now is like 4. It's like 4 million for vets. So yeah, you can't tell me that the players that are at like the bottom of Arsenal are getting paid like that. Like for a fact, like a lot of young prospects.
If you're on the senior, if you're on the senior team, but at the same time, there's more players. There's only 12, 13, 15 on the roster.
You're right.
There's more players.
You're right. But
on a senior team, they're getting paid close.
Okay, so let's do it this way. Do you think that the 15th highest paid guy on those rosters are getting paid like the minimum players in America? That's actually a good question.
The 15th?
Like,
there's our 11 in the lineup.
11,
so
and then
the 15th guy is a backup.
Yeah, so
the 15th guy's a sub guy.
It's the fourth sub guy.
They're getting paid more.
The guy that you might throw on there. The guy you think can go out there.
Nicholas Pepe is definitely getting paid more than the 15th guy at a basketball roster. So yes.
All right, excluding guys who teams thought they were going to be good, excluding those guys.
But usually the 15th guy on every Premier League team is like that. So
look, maybe.
I mean, you're talking about a top club. Like even though they're not playing like one, they're getting paid like a top club. So guys like teams like Manchester City, Manchester United, their 15th guy will be a top player in a bottom team in the Premier League. So yes, they are getting paid
they're
more.
Multi-millionaires though.
Oh, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
I mean, it's a good question. I'm
Name me a player, and I'll look up their contract. Just name me any of those players, and I'll name their contract. I know Nicolas Pepe is getting paid more. Name me another guy.
Hector Bellerin. How much is he getting paid? I have no
Oh,
idea.
definitely, he's getting paid more. Definitely, no question. Have you seen Hector Bellerin's contract?
No, I haven't.
You know he came from Barcelona.
Actually, I don't.
He's definitely getting paid more.
Is he getting paid big?
He's getting paid 28.6 million euros a year over 5 years. There you go.
A year? Or 20 million
over 5 years. Over 5 years. Per year is 5.72 billion euros.
Okay, so then yeah. So I would say that it's similar.
That's like $7 million.
Yeah, that's seems reasonable.
That's more.
He's a starter. That's more. Right? He's a starting caliber
barely
guy. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's barely a starting caliber guy. Imagine what like a mid-tier roster guy, like the 30th guy on the roster.
Okay, let's do Maitland-Niles then. Let's do Maitland-Niles.
Okay, let's do Maitland-Niles.
Perfect example. Even though he was an Arsenal youth player, so he went through the youth ranks.
And he
didn't really get his big contract yet.
He also left and came back, so he might have got a good deal. Really good maintenance.
1.82 million euros a year.
So yeah, so it's almost comparable. It's almost comparable.
Oh yeah, I could give you that. I could give you that, but
how about we say that? It's even once you get to the top. It's even because I'm sure G League players probably don't get paid like anything.
G League players get paid like you can make a job that get paid $7,000 a year and they get paid more than the average G League player.
Yeah, that's true.
G League players do not get paid at all. They barely. This is why a lot of players go to Europe. They barely get paid at all. It's really you're just fighting for that 10th day.
I mean, maybe that changed because if guys like Jalen Green are getting paid $500K, what's that going to do for the market?
They're the exception. They're getting paid $500K. The average G League player is still getting paid like what, $50K?
But that's what I'm saying.
Something like that.
You don't think that's going to change the market at all?
Hopefully it does, but right now it's not.
I think that if you're like a fourth year vet who's pretty good, I think that that's going to change. There's like, okay, you're going to give that guy $500K. You can't give me 100. I think it might do some things like that.
Well, let's see how much Jared Jack is getting paid. We can look at that. Let's see how much Jared Jack is getting paid.
It's got to be $300K. I'm going with $300K. Give me your guess.
I say less than that.
I think less.
Whoa, really? Ooh, really?
Getting like one?
No, this can't be. Oh no, they don't have this G League contract out here. I said 2.3 million. It was I knew that wasn't.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, but it said 2018.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna look this up. Jared Jack, G League salary. There we go.
It doesn't show his contract, but it just said they range from 125K to 500K a year, but that's for the Ignite. That's for the young Ignite players. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say anything about his contract.
It doesn't say
Maybe they don't want us to know.
They don't want us to know. Oh my god, it's a conspiracy theory. Piece of crap. Oh well. Okay, so should we just say this is a push? It's a push. They get paid. Okay, for the amount of players.
It's about roughly the same.
Okay, they get paid really well. Who cares? They're millionaires. If you're playing the NBA, you're a millionaire. Who cares, right?
I would take any of their contracts.
Yeah, Granted, it's probably harder to make it in the NBA than it is to make it in the Premier League or any other league period in the world.
Because I would have to grow 7 more inches. So I'd say just by that logic, it is harder to be in the NBA. Yeah,
I like you. Even if you grew 7 inches, you ain't making it. I like you.
How that's ignorant because you never even watched me play basketball before.
That's ignorant. Are you a super athlete? Are you a super athlete?
The injury? Before my ACL tear, I was actually pretty decent. I was actually a pretty decent athlete. Yes, I could grab rim before my ACL tear, so I was a pretty decent athlete.
Could you compete with Poku if you were 7 inches taller?
Yeah. Poku. I thought you were talking about someone else. I thought you were talking about someone else.
Because you got to put respect on these people's name. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you this right here,
not now. Poku. I'll tell you everybody else. Not Poku right now.
I'm a pretty solid basketball player. No cap. All right. I'll throw out my credentials. Didn't play varsity
basketball. I didn't say I'll be Poku. I said I could probably score a bucket on them.
What, one?
Probably 2.
Probably 2.
He looks kind of stiff. He kind of looks kind of stiff. I think. Oh, I'm gonna outmuscle him though. I can outmuscle
Look,
him.
all I'm saying is that I'm a guy, never played varsity basketball or
we
anything
weigh
like
the
that.
same weight, and I'm like 5'9". He's 7 foot. We weigh the same.
Look,
190.
All I'm saying,
we weigh the same.
All I'm saying, as a guy who didn't play varsity basketball and none of this, if I grew 5 inches, I probably still couldn't beat Brianna Stewart in basketball. If I'm being 100%, if I'm being honest.
Really, I never played varsity basketball, but also I went to Beketra, which is like one of the top schools in the world.
I never played varsity
so.
basketball, and I played for a really shitty high school white basketball team. So I played for.
I would have been playing varsity basketball. I'm going to say I would be playing varsity basketball in your school.
I don't think you would, because I went to let's get off the subject. Actually, I don't want to put my school on blast just yet. I don't think they deserve the clout that they did. Let's just say.
No, I would have been playing basketball for your school. If what you're saying about your school is true, I would be playing varsity basketball.
Do I need to play you in basketball right now to see if you can. Is that what?
Hey, we might need to.
Maybe we might need to.
Probably masked up, but we might need to.
You said masked up. It's true.
Masked up 1-on-1. Let's go.
I mean, I'm down. Hey, look. Let's put this down. 4'11" at 145. I got challenged to 1-on-1 in basketball. We're making this happen. All right, we're doing this.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say preferably after the pandemic, though. But let's do it. Let's do it.
You know what? You got a good mask, right? You got a good mask that'll stay on your head.
I got KN95. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a good mask. We'll make it happen. We'll figure it out. But anyway, there is one team.
If my mom allows it, then yeah.
There's one team that I really want to talk about, and it's a team I wanted to talk about for a while. It's a team that doesn't get a lot of love on this pod. Doesn't get a lot of love. You want to take a guess?
Well, we did say Milwaukee Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't get a lot of love.
Clippers
we don't talk about this
don't
team.
need a love.
Yeah, we don't talk about this
Clippers
team.
don't need a love. Suns.
It is the Suns. Don't talk about the Suns.
Okay.
I feel like we don't talk about the Suns enough. And
I feel like nobody does.
It's true. How do you feel about? I think that the Suns are really fucking legit. Like, I think that this team, no cap, I think this team could make the finals. No cap. Honestly,
I think so too.
I think that this team is like a legit. But
if LeBron is hurt,
would I be ignorant if I said I don't think it matters? I think even with LeBron, I don't think that they would win. I wouldn't have them as a favorite, but I think that it would still be really competitive. And I don't think it would be shocking if AD and LeBron come back and the Suns win. I wouldn't be shocked.
Hey, and I was talking a lot about the Suns during the bubble. Like I said, the bubble Suns are a legendary team.
I'll give you credit. You did say that.
You take the bubble Suns and then you add Chris Paul to that team. Mm-hmm. The bubble Suns with Chris Paul. They could be like Chicago Bulls with Jordan. Who knows?
See, who knows? I'm actually kind of glad that you brought that up, because I actually do think that this is kind of similar to another Bulls team. I think that this is kind of similar to that D Rose Bulls team. They don't have a D Rose caliber player, but they have pieces where everybody knows what the fuck to do, right?
But they have 3 players better than the second best player on that D Rose team. So,
dude, I think you're being really disrespectful to Joakim Noah. I think you're being very disrespectful. Dude, Joakim was legitimately,
and Noah right now is a push right now.
Joe Kim has a legit claim that he was the best center in the league that year. He has a legit claim to that.
True that.
He has a legit claim.
Okay, two players better than the second best player. My bad. Yeah. You're right.
I just put a little bit of respect on Joe Kim's name. But everybody on that team, whether it was Joe Kim, whether it was, who was the other guy? Luol Deng, whether it was
Ben Gordon off the bench, Kurt Heinrich.
Who was their defensive guy on the wing? I can't remember his name.
Luol Deng.
No, the other one.
Thabo Sefolosha.
No,
was he on that roster? No.
Man, I can see his. Was it Brewer? No, it wasn't Brewer. What was his name? I'll think about it.
It was Brewer. Was it Ronnie Brewer?
No, it wasn't Ronnie Brewer. Man, what's that guy's name? It's gonna drive me nuts. He replaced Bogans. You remember Keith Bogans? He replaced him.
Yeah.
On the roster. Oh my god, that's gonna drive me nuts. Anyway, they had basically what I'm trying to say.
See, we don't remember defensive players anymore. Now we don't even remember defensive players.
I feel so bad. I remember. I can see his face. But everybody from them, Boozer was on the roster. Everybody had a role. And it kind of seems like this Phoenix Suns team, whether it's CP3, who has a role of being the alpha dog who knows what he's doing and kind of coordinating everybody. Booker, just go out there and get a bucket. Cam Johnson, hey, I just need you to be a sniper and a 3-and-D guy. Surpassed everybody's expectations, by the way. Mikal Bridges, I need you to be the guy that everybody thought that you were going to
The
be.
thing
And
with Cam Johnson, it's funny. I'm not even sure if he surpassed expectations because everybody expected this is what he was going to be. It's just that people were shitting on his sons because it wasn't like the flashy 19-year-old that had a lot of potential. Everybody knew he was a shooter.
But he's so efficient. He's so efficient.
He was just efficient in college.
But to be picked 10th?
Yes.
Whenever he got picked, I'm sorry. Nobody thought he was going to be that good.
It was because
he does more than just shoot. By the way, he does more than just shoot. I don't want to just put him as a shooter.
Oh yeah, definitely. But for getting picked so high, because they were like ESPN in general just shitting on him because he was on that 19-year-old high potential like star that's probably not going to do anything the first 2 years, but could be good in the future. And that's why he was getting shit on because he was a 23-year-old. Is what you see is what you get. He's a shooter. And pretty much, he's going to be a role player, and that's why they were getting shitted on for it.
But exactly though, right? Because everybody kind of just.
But that's what they needed.
But everybody kind of just pegged him as a shooter, and he's not just a shooter. He does a lot of things. Like he can actually play some pretty okay defense for the times, and he can actually playmate and initiate offense a little bit. Like he does a lot more things than just stand in the corner and shoot. Like he does a lot more things than that. But yeah, they had, and then also Cameron Payne. It still surprised me. I don't know why he's good.
I just thought he was a backup dancer at one point. I didn't know he was an actual NBA player.
Yeah, it bugs me to this day. I don't know why he's good. And then the one guy who we never talk about, Ayton. Hey, Ayton is really good. Ayton's really good.
Definitely looking a lot better defensively than what he was projected to be coming out of college.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just get surprised with this team every single time I watch it because every single time I watch it.
Oh, actually, since we're talking about Ayton, I do want to ask you this: Is Ayton going to be still as a player that got drafted over Luka, or now he's like worthy of that number one pick to you?
Wait, say that.
I mean, clearly the Suns don't need Luka.
Pause. Say that again. Say that.
Okay, I probably didn't say it right, but like, is Ayton going to be the player known as the guy drafted over Luka?
No.
Or not anymore. Okay.
No, he is. That's who he is. We knew that going into the draft. Phoenix should have known that going into the draft, and I don't care that you say that they don't need Luka. Everybody needs Luka. If they should have drafted Luka and figured out the center position later. They would be way more better off. Now, granted, I don't think that you get Chris Paul. I don't think that actually maybe
it wouldn't fit. Yeah,
contract still work.
It wouldn't fit.
Probably not. But I mean, you'd probably
Luka's a point guard. It wouldn't fit.
Probably not. But you don't get all these other things, and who knows if you're as good as you are now. So I don't want to say this because it kind of seems wrong to say, but at the same time, maybe not picking Luka was the best thing that happened to Phoenix. Maybe, because I don't know, just based off of what we've seen with Dallas, I don't know if Phoenix is.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So maybe if you do a redraft, is Ayton still worthy of that number one pick?
At the same time, as you said, CP3 is a point guard just like Luka. So maybe all they needed was a guy like Luka in order to be better. But at the same time, you don't.
Luka and Devin Booker would probably clash more than what CP3 and Booker would clash.
Luka likes to shoot way more than Chris Paul. You're right about that. So I mean, who knows? I mean, it's a great what if. Like, what happens? Are they better now than?
We all know it should have been number 2, but number 1, we don't know.
Number 1, we don't know. But at the same time, like I said, you can make a really good argument that choosing Ayton was the right decision based on where they are now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I still wouldn't have done it. But at the same time, you can make that argument. Yeah, but they're
fair enough.
So my real question is, does this team fall apart when it gets to the playoffs? Are we overrating this team like we do with we have one team that we
I don't think so.
But I mean, if we're looking at it, right? Chris Paul,
I don't think so.
I mean, if we're looking at it just objectively, Chris Paul never really finished in the playoffs. Never made it to the finals.
I say he's more unlucky than anything because
I
he always
agree.
gets hurt at the wrong time.
I agree. And especially with that 2014 Clippers team, 2014, 2013, that team that
They would have won the championship that
should have
year.
won the title. Then you have a guy like Ayton who kind of has it. I like Ayton, has a tendency to disappear. Devin Booker, who hasn't accomplished anything. Are we overrating this team?
Bubble Devin Booker showed me that he's going to be a playoff player. Like
But he did it
when the lights are bright, he's going to be a playoff player.
But it's the bubble.
But look, I feel like they were also mad that year in the bubble they were undefeated and still couldn't make the playoffs. So I know they still have that bitter taste in their mouth when they were so close to making the playoffs. So I think they're going to play every game like it's their last. I feel like they're going to all ball out in the playoffs because they still have like that bubble, like just like them in the bubble, they were all undefeated, still couldn't make it. And I feel like they were all. I feel like they all remember that and they're all bitter and they wanted to be in the playoffs and now they're there and now they're going to make the most of it. I feel like for that reason they are not going to underachieve in the playoffs.
Right.
And like you said, it got every player that plays a role. We mentioned Cam Johnson for the shooting, Mikal Bridges for the shooting and defense. It got every player that plays a role.
It's true.
Like, what are they missing?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, they're just missing. They would just need to upgrade one of their players, and that's really hard to say when their team is playing as good as they are. But if you want to guarantee a ring, that would be all it takes because it's like they have.
And at the same time, they're all still all young, so they're still getting better.
That's the thing. It's like they're all really good. They all play really well together, but the only thing that would make them better is if they get a guy who basically does what one of their players does, just better. That's all it would take. But so my next question, and one of my last question is this team better than Utah? Because I would say maybe.
I was about to also mention that we barely talk about Utah as well, and they're the best team in the league record wise.
I don't think we talk about. I feel like I talk about Utah all the time.
I don't know. It just seems like for a team that has the best record in the league, we definitely spend more time talking about Brooklyn more than anything. So
let's go, yeah, Brooklyn. But I, honestly, if I'm looking at these teams, both of them, I don't know. I don't know if I feel this way. I don't know if this is true, but I
say on paper,
I want to see both of those teams in the Western Finals. If I'm being
on paper, talent level, I say Phoenix Suns are better talent wise, but Utah just has more experience.
Utah just plays together. I think Utah, in terms of who plays to like the best together with their own roster, I would say it's Utah. It's Utah.
Yes, and that's the experience aspect. So I say in the 7-game series, I got Utah just for the experience standpoint.
So basically what you're saying is next year, if they keep everybody, it's a better chance of going further?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully Chris Paul doesn't have starts to age, but I feel like Chris Paul's game, he's not going to age that much. It's like John Stockton's career path.
Yeah,
he's not going to age that much.
He just knows. He plays kind of LeBron-ish in a way, in the sense of he just knows where to attack. He knows when to use certain moves and where to go, and he doesn't do anything extra anymore. And everything is just efficiency. Let's get to the end of the game and win this game with Chris Paul. And it's kind of unbelievable to see. He's 36. You know that?
He's only 36. He's only 36.
36. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
It's like that.
I want to see team basketball in the Western Conference Finals. I'd rather see Utah and Phoenix than any other team. If I'm being honest, that's the matchup that I want, because that's just San Antonio Spurs team basketball to a T, and I love it. That's what I want to see.
Well, that's what you want to see. I don't know if everybody wants to see that.
Everybody wants to see LeBron get his fifth title.
Exactly.
But,
Exactly. Or see a easy money sniper get that title, and to punch Michael Rappaport after.
Should that be the last thing we talk about?
I say.
Or should we even talk about it?
I say it's been long gone already. It's like what, 2 weeks ago? But
that was on Tuesday.
It was a week ago.
No, that was on.
I think I talked about it so much in other shows, but if you want to, do you have anything you want to say about that?
Fuck Michael Rappaport. That's about it.
we can leave it at that because I feel the same way. Fuck Michael
Yeah,
Rappaport.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, terrible. All right, yeah, but anything else? That's all I got.
I I just want the last words to be fuck Michael Rappaport. I
All
think
right,
we could just leave
all
it at
right,
that.
let's do it.
So so 1, 2,
Fuck
3.
Michael
Fuck
Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport. All right. So that is the this edition of the sports edition, the video edition, where you actually get to see our face. You get to see me wearing the jewels.
Yeah, the swaggy
You get to
African
see
jewels.
JC. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking tribal. So you get to see JC with the afro looking like a light skinned Afro Thunder with the mellow jacket. So that concludes this edition of Sports Edition. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what you think. If you like it or love it, whatever.
Yeah, let us know how you feel
And
about
yeah,
OKC Blue in the in the comments below.
let us know how you feel about OKC Blue, how you feel about Alex Rodriguez,
Yes.
and now you feel about the NBA bringing back the physicality that it used to have.
Yes.
So yeah, let us know, and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.